And we are live. Hi, everybody. Leon. Althea, good to glad to have you. Ray, good to glad to have you. Tam, good to glad to have you. V, good to glad to have you. How we all doing today? I know the announcement went out late because obviously we're back to doing some streams for fun and for clearing some stuff. And also, I don't know. Will you be able to see this? Let's see. OBS showing green. Yeah, you guys can't see. Let me see. Play capture. Oh, that's not showing either. Okay. Wow. All that to say, there have been videos editing this morning. And an interview with Brian over on Ginger Prime. Deadberry, good to go to have you. I hope everyone has a great day. Yes, I hope you are too. Audio is a little quiet. Cool. Let me boost that up. I also may have just been talking a little quiet. That better? It's cold. Not super cold compared to other places, but I'm cold. Yeah, it's been cold here. It's been very cold over here too. I mean, it's been normal winter Wisconsin, Minnesota cold, which is bad, but at least here it's only for short periods. But yeah, today we're going to be doing a bunch of Dawntrail quests, partly because I've been meaning to do them and I have not been actually assigning time to actually do them. I've been focusing on everything else and other things in my life, so I wanted to focus on actually clearing up all the Dawntrail quests that I haven't done. And also there's a lot of interesting lore notes and bits and bobs for many of them, I am certain. So that will be our primary consideration. Infinite, good to go to have you. Audio cutting out? It's audio cutting out. Let's find out. Test. Okay, not that. Audio is good for you, Deathberry? Okay, maybe it's just V. Let me know if my audio is cutting out at all as we go through. Also, let me turn on, I need to turn on my fans. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, we got a Jarek and we got a V. Okay. Since y'all are the fellows that we have here, you guys got any preferences on which quests we start with? Otherwise, I'll just do whatever floats my boat. Yeah, never mind, YouTube muted itself. Did you press the M button, V? That's usually what it is. Also, I have a burger here, so if you see me eating, because I can never actually eat before a stream, I must always eat on stream, apparently. You know, some people pay good money for this. Yeah, there are a lot of side quests. Okay. No one has any preferences. I'm just going to go start doing them. We're not necessarily going to do role quests right off the bat. But, oh, I finished all the fates, so I should go do gemstones. How are you all guys doing? What you all been up to? Oh, hey, there's a desk. No, actually, the volume controls seem to be locked to my cursor no matter what I do, so I'm not... Wait, what? That's crazy. I want to make lunch, but I was bullied by dog position outside in the sun. I mean, that's understandable, though. Danny! Good to see you, glad to have you. Now, Danny, I don't know if this has happened for anybody else. So every time I see your name, I'm going to go, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and mountain low. That's just me. I really should do Fate Grind. Still haven't done for that. We may have a Fate Night. I think Deirdre, I believe, was voicing that she, I think, wanted to do a lot more fake grinding and what the best way to get other people from T to do it with her was. And I thought that maybe if she wanted to host one on like one of the days we don't have an event, so we might do a fake grind for that, Danny. But otherwise, just use looking for group for all you guys together. Welcome. Feast your eyes on the finest goods from every corner of Tural. All this can be yours so long as you have the Courage gemstones. Yes. Sweet. Also, I can't promise his voices all throughout. but maybe we'll definitely see some. Let's start with the Wandering Minstrel. Yeah, I really should do. Fitted to sit. Did the stream stop? It did not. Have I lost any frames? I've dropped a couple frames, but I shouldn't. Let's see. Temperature's fine. Probably lower the stream bitrate a little bit, but otherwise, all seems to be well. You'll have to let me know if anything stopped. Stream stopped for me too, but I refreshed and it's fine now. Okay. I'll lower my bitrate just in case. Guys, let me know if the quality drops dramatically anytime in the next minute for the stream. Because I'm lowering it quite a bit, but we'll see if that's actually even necessary. Like for some reason YouTube mobile thinks stream ended, but on desktop it's still going. That's weird. Well, and also a bunch of you guys only get notifications like once in a blue moon for when streams are going live too. You know, I don't think I've ever actually watched... No, I must have watched some kind of live event or something on YouTube mobile. I'm sure I've watched like game trailers or something. Okay, what's my frame at to? 71. Yeah, that's a decent place to walk it. Okay. Sorry, I just see that my computer's going high. Let's see. That. OBS. Yeah, that's basically all the things you'd expect it to be. Okay. Got it, that. Man, that's a crazy fluctuation. I didn't get a notification stream announcement, but it pinged me when the stream went live. My replacement CPU for the one I bought when I put the pins on should be on Wednesday, so I can finally finish putting my new PC together. That's exciting, Tam. Hopefully you'll get it at the same time Neray gets her new graphics card instead of the graphics card that's been crashing her for forever. Oh, Dest is... Hey, have you come to share your heroic yarn with me, Elio? Please do go on. You have my rapt attention. The story of Zoraal Ja. So what have you brought for me today? Well, complicated tale about a king and a son and a madman. Ah, the final moments of the former Dawn servant's firstborn. This truly gives rise to a complex mixture of emotions. It would be insulting to call it something so trite as an adventurous tale. As the only true son of Zoraal Ja, he doubtless felt a heavy burden of responsibility to be deemed worthy of succeeding his father. This weight was likely made all the more stifling by the fact he had but one head, and so he sought great power to make up for his perceived shortcomings. Yet he could never quite live up to the expectations he set for himself. In his blind pursuit, he stepped upon a crooked path. I feel like I would enjoy Zoraal Ja more if either he had been weak during the trials, or that insecurity was made more plain in multiple ways during the trials. Kesa, good to see you, glad to have you. Hi, I've seen you a couple times during the hunt trades. Hey, but too nervous to say hello, but it's nice to catch you live. Oh, I'm glad to catch you live. Also, please say hi. You guys, it makes my day whenever you guys say hi. Seriously, it's nice to like see you guys around, so please don't ever feel nervous. I beseech you, definitely pass a hi. But yeah, I'm trying to work on the of the endless hunt bit by bit, so you'll probably see me around quite a few more times. I put a new PC together a few weeks ago. Nice! I feel you there. I was having repeat issues getting internet to work and had to wait on more parts. I feel you there with a temp. Yeah. Man. But how's that been going, Deathberry? Has it been playing better? I know we've got multiple people in the community who've got new computers lately. Infinite, you just got a new computer. You want to tell us a little bit about your experience with that? Infinite, do you want to describe what your computer was beforehand and then also what you upgraded to? Also, we had someone, Monferno, I believe. They had a graphics card. What was it? It was like a 1050 or like a 1060. Or I think, no, it was older than that. It was something older that it was insane how old it was. And I like explained to them, okay, we need to get you some new parts. Let's fix this. Oh, give me 1 second. I've been testing a bunch of new stuff with my graphics card as well as overclocking and pushing some stuff. So I'm trying, and underclocking. So I'm trying to, ooh, shit. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Okay, let's make sure we didn't lose any frames or anything. No, we're good, okay. Cool. Yep. It was an integrated graphics card for a laptop that was almost equivalent to a 10X series. Okay, yeah. I'm the one with the 1060 Ti on my still running machine. Oh, Sam. Oh, come on. It's not. I'm pretty sure I have like a 2070 just lying around here somewhere. I believe in you. We can get you something better. I dream. I'd love to invest in a computer for gaming, but I'm used to playing controller. I don't like keyboard and mouse except for chatting. That's understandable, I see. I had a decent 5-year-old laptop until it was having some issues with hardware, somewhere connecting to the internet. You know, it's interesting. When I first started getting into gaming on PC, well, I was on desktop first, but then like the first one I really owned was a laptop. But man, just the overheating just from pushing it. Yeah, I'm definitely a desktop PC guy. The only thing I enjoy using laptops for is writing. Just because the power, you know. For 30 long years did he keep company with anger in that dome. Yet no amount of anguish can justify the countless lives he stole. You know what I believe, Elio? I believe the moment Zoraal Ja killed his own father, whose admiration he fought so hard to win, his life lost all meaning. His sins cannot be forgiven, 'tis true, yet his story is a tragic one. I suspect each of us can see parts of ourselves reflected within it. This is one of the things I appreciate about 14. It's something I value a lot in my life, and I think should be broadly valued. Which, I mean, like, we all, of course, want our values, valued by everybody else. But I think it's really, really, really important to recognize tragedy while also being able to condemn. To recognize the humanity in people who commit monstrous acts, rather than to just find satisfaction in either total condemnation or a foregoing of justice by empathizing to the point that you can allow for or condone. Not even condone, but just like, there's a place for judgment, right? But that place is not for vindication. It's for just passionate justice, right? Thank you for sharing it with me. A dark shadow loomed over the right of succession. We would do best not to forget he who casts it. Okay, I have to say, after saying right of succession so many times with the accent throughout Dawntrail, now and every time I say succession, with a hard C, my mouth wants to say secession. While many will view Zoraal Ja as a murderer and tyrant, reducing him to a mindless villain will blunt the impact of the lessons we can learn from his fate. This is a tale that must be told with great care. Mood. Now that I have I had a decade, no great upgrade that's working. Nice, Death, very nice. Okay, so it was an old laptop with an NVIDIA MX350, which is, if you've never heard about it, a little wonder because it's an obscure graphics laptop card. Holy moly. I have a nice new graphics card, new system, just waiting for the CPU. Sweet. Awesome, Sam. I was frequently crashing in limps. Jesus, infinite. Man, yeah. Shame Zoraal Ja had all the talent potential, but nothing meaningful to show for it. But it's interesting, AC, because he did. He did have something meaningful to show, right? He saved people in Yue Iwata, right? His power did good and had people who cherished him for his power and the deeds he did. But he could never be at peace with it. He could never view it as enough. Ooh! I think I do need that. Let me search. No, I have it already in the glamour dresser. Thank you, V. I can't wait to see your playthrough. I'll play through of 7.0. Yeah, I really want to hear your theories and stuff. Yes. So, Kesa, I was planning on holding off until 7.3. I might, when we get closer to 7.2, go ahead and start doing on Elio. I don't know. I'm torn. But I definitely will do it for today. I have, we talk about it in book club a lot. Speaking of which, if you haven't joined our Discord, there's our Discord at discord.gg/Eorzean archives, where we have a book club every Friday. And we had I had a whole bit where I was explaining Sphinx and also the historical Sphinx and also the likelihood of the mesoterminal containing her soul. One, because it's referred to as such and as a mausoleum, and also due to the fact that it's the only way to explain why the historical Sphinx would come out of the terminal. After it being shut down, assuming it's not a backup. Yeah, 4062 Ti, damn, you're almost as good as mine, damn. Once the CPU comes in, I can confirm everything boots up and can throw Windows on it and then move my storage hard drives into it. Nice, agreed. That's something FF Final Fantasy does really well. I think Final Fantasy broadly tends towards that in a lot of their narratives. I definitely think 14 goes the hardest on it, as its underlying thing. Understanding the villain motivation stuff without making you agree with it, yeah. And I know, like, V sometimes we'll talk, like, V, and I hope I don't accidentally paint your take on this wrongly, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every villain needs to be, oh, you know, they're so it's such a tragic story, it's not that, but I do think there can be different types of tragedy, right? And tragedy to me is not just like, oh, they're so empathizable. Like, Valtteri, I don't empathize with Valtteri, but his creation's a tragedy. And it's a different tragedy to Xenos' tragedy. It's a different tragedy to Zoraal Ja's tragedy. And it's a different tragedy to Emmett Selk's tragedy. And the degree to which you can empathize with those, I think, is very variable. So we all agree that her name is officially Sphinx, right? I mean, I'm sticking with until such time as they give me another name, a different name, like Necron. I'm calling her Sphinx, and I refuse to stop. Yeah. I wonder if his father sees him in the ethereal sea, or will he sink into the deepest depths alone and in anguish until he is cleansed? I'd like to think that when Zoraal Ja's soul goes to the ethereal sea, that he does get to see his father one last time, and that maybe Zoraal Ja, I don't know if forgiveness is the right. I would like to believe that there's some comfort to be found. And at the very least, he can finally be at peace, right? That's my hope. But maybe I'm just overly optimistic. Christopher, good to glad to have you. Historical Sphinx is so cute. I can't wait to meet her. I wonder how different she might be from the simulated Sphinx. Well, you know, my guess is that she's effectively probably going to be quite similar, with the primary difference being not having the directive from preservation. Which, I mean, obviously, so it might not be dispositionally that different, but not having those directives means that she has the capability to actually make hard choices that don't maybe necessarily promote Alexandria's survival over all else, right? But yeah, it's very, very interesting to see, right? Thank you, Infinite, for links. My desktop journey is the last 10 years, i5, R5. Nice. I'm definitely looking at potentially switching over to AMD, Danny, with the next card I get, mainly just because I don't want to use frame gen. I mean, DLSS is fine, but I'm especially with some of the upgrades I'm seeing with FSR, I'm definitely considering that. Sorry, I'm having to open and close the window to allow for some cold air to make sure my graphics card's okay. Not all villains need to be tragic either. I do think we need to define what we mean by tragic, right? To me, a tragedy can be someone who's utterly unempathizable, but their creation could be prevented, right? The tragedy in their creation. Okay, let's talk to this pellet. Also, well, I guess I can just turn it in with any job. What jobs do I have left to level? I have Reaper, Ast, Sage, Dancer, Picto. Okay. Oh, I am in a pickle. Can't exactly deliver the orders if I am lost now, can I? Curse these twisting streets. You there, with your decidedly unfathomable composure. You know your way around these streets, yes? Could you pay a visit to the customer and let them know I have brought their orders? Brilliant. Now you'll be looking for 2 different houses in the resplendent quarter. The first has deep in blue and yellow walls, with the feather decorations that hang from the eaves. The man who lives there is an very eloquent Hanu Hanu. The second is home to the rather voracious Moblin. You are looking for a sky blue walls with a yellow roof, a storehouse, and decorated vases on the front. Hey, a random Lalafell. Cataclysmic, good to see you, glad to have you. Not all villains need to be sympathetic. Yeah. I prefer that all... No, I don't prefer all. I broadly prefer tragedies. I do think you really need to, if you're having a continual story with long-running villains, or not in long-running villains, but like a variety of villains over the course of many stories, it's important that you just have some people who are unrepentantly bad without context. Because they are an absolute minority of populations in the world, but they exist. And to have everyone be particularly sympathetic, I think... What is it that you run into? Is it saccharine? No, not saccharine. Definitely not saccharine. Is it cloying? I think the patience can wear thin if not handled with deftness. Or in other words, we do need a Valens and a Valens Vanvaro every now and again. Sure. And arguably an Asahi. Because like, if you think about it, Asahi was given everything he could possibly have wanted to be happy and still is just an absolute shitheel. You know? Instead of burn out the bad, it's squish the milk. Yeah. Not all villains need to be, yeah. Like Emmett Selk or even Kefka tragic. Yeah. Or even Kefka is tragic. Yeah, sometimes there's evil who's evil. You can understand it, learn from it, but not always need it to be tragic to do the latter two. Yeah. Asahi is just plain ass. An asshole? Yeah, is he an Asahi hole? Asahole? Well, Asahole. I mean, that's just a morning hole. Asa is morning in Japanese, so Asahole would be... Breathtaking, isn't it? I wager you'd be hard-pressed to find a more majestic drum anywhere. Alas, as exposed as it is the elements, it requires a lot of upkeep, which is where we of the Fief and Drum Corps come in. Speaking of which, what's taking him so long? Say, you strike me as the dependable sort. Might I trouble you to find our new recruit? He was tasked with handling today's inspection. Given how long it's taken him, it's possibly ran into trouble, but I'm supposed to be supervising things here. Check behind the tower and you should find him. What is it? The Dawn's... What is it? Wow, what is it called? Dawn Herald. That's what it is. There's a time and a place for what Red at OCB, yeah, calls a pure evil villain. Yeah. And look, the answer is how much you use any type of villain is completely dependent on the story you're telling and a number of things. And just think if you're having an MMO in particular where you're going to be facing off a bunch of different kinds, you do need variety. But particularly with 14's emphasis on its themes, it's kind of important that the majority of them are understandable, because the majority of villains in 14 with the stories it wants to tell broadly are benefited by context and can only be truly defeated in the understanding of them and in the undoing of what has created them. Not in a literal sense. Like, it's not like we have to undo the final days to stop Emmett Selk, but the tragedy that begets Emmett Selk can only be really stopped by understanding that, right? That's one of the reasons Shadowbringers focuses on so much. I mean, it's just as true with also, and Daniel, right? Can I help you? Wait, the drum major sent you? Gods be good, I've wasted too much time. I've already finished checking the drum in the tower, mind you, but I just had to go and drop my tools. Now I can't find them. Let me look. Could really use a second pair of eyes right now. That's cute that we have to... Oh, that's cute. Just like I mean, it's not even a jumping puzzle per se, but... Oh, do I have any leaves picked up? No, I do not have any leaves picked up. I'm also trying to get... I've been on a lot of achievement hunting lately in my free time. So I'm working on all sorts of achievements. I'm at 12... Okay, 1200s. Not bad. I should check for some of the easy ones. But like I'm working on some of like the weird ones, like where is it? I don't know what it's under, but basically the ones where you have to like get a whole bunch of leaves done. You have to do like you have to do every individual unique leave, but you also have to do like 500 leaves at all. Any luck? Anybody else out here? Any of you guys do achievement hunting? Because I literally don't enjoy achievement hunting in almost any other game I've ever played. 14's the first one, but more specifically because it's an MMO, and in MMOs I like the the simplest way to explain it is I hate Blitzball in Final Fantasy X as a minigame, but I would love it in 14 because, and the same with like Gold Saucer. Like I never do the Gold Saucer stuff in other Final Fantasies, but in an MMO it's different because it's this thing that can be slotted in for a bit of time because there's this ongoing existence within the confines of the game. Whereas if it's a single player game, it's just like, I just want to experience the story. I'm so glad you found them. You're a lifesaver, truly. If I dared to report back without them, the Major would have grilled me to a fine char. With that settled, I really must return to my other duties. I'd be most grateful if you could inform the Major on my behalf. Hey, does anyone out here, I need to, this is something, a lore note that I have. When do they explain the Wings of Reflection and their duties and responsibilities within Tural? There you are. I am told you helped your recruit find the inspection kit after you dropped it. Your generosity means more to our community than you might realize. This drum is essential for the protection and well-being of our people. This not only marks the time of day, but also honors the Landsguards returning home from duty. And in time of crisis, it can be used to warn the populace of danger. That is why we must keep it in pristine condition at all times. But of course, a more common duty as the Fief and Drum Corps is to perform as a musical ensemble. It takes tremendous upper arm strength to beat the drum of the scale. And as Major, my job is to pound our greenest recruits into shape. Perhaps I have been slacking. Before I forget, take this. You have earned it. I like the Dawn Herald. I wish it almost like beat every hour in game or something to like let you know the time is passing. Although with how fast time passes in game, that would be quite frequent. I've been progressing MSQ on my EU all in the meantime. She's passed 30 arced out. Nice, Danny. You guys know the main villain of the never-ending story 2, The Emptiness? How the hero defeated the evil with no morals. This evil with no morals or remorse to give it a heart. Fill the void with selfless love. Yeah, good call, Alicia. I only do hunting for the achievements for rewards, really. For the achievements with rewards. Yeah. It's like a reverse villain tragic backstory. Depends on the achievements of the game about how much you get into it. I don't like achievement hunting, but I like being in the world of 14, so achievements are fun to pursue. Yeah, Christopher, that's a really good way of putting it. That's basically how I would frame it for myself. Very good. I do only do achievements that are something like achievement points for rewards. One day I'll get the 2,000 mentor roulettes achievements. The thing is, I have mentor and stuff on Lend, but I need to get it on Elio. But because I play with you guys and stuff quite often, I have very few commendations. Not even because of the 100,000 legs quest achievement. I feel like there's a part at the Palace in the MSQ where that is explained, but I don't remember with it, so to teach you. Yeah, Althea, if you can find it, please let me know. The Emptiness is also the villain of the original film in his book. Okay, cool. I was like, wasn't the Emptiness in the first one? Elio, isn't it? I've heard all about your affinity with the alpacas. My cousin works in the ranch in Huachupelo. He is practically gushing. As it so happens, I've neither of your talents. Some of the herds escaped during the attack on the city the other day. I managed to round most of them up, but we're still too short. They haven't been seen leaving via the gates, so I think it's safe to assume they are hiding somewhere within the city walls. So how about it? Can I ask you to round up the last 2 stragglers? Sure, I guess. Thank you. No, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but despite being trained as mounts, alpacas are easily rattled. If you come across our stragglers, make sure you soothe them first, got it? No sudden movements. Okay, so far we helped a guy that was working on the Dawn Herald and his gear fell out, and the Major was responsible for whipping them into shape. The Dawn Herald is used for the return of the Dawns of the, Landsguard. Thank you. I was gonna say Dawnsguard. I knew that wasn't right. Landsguard, the Hour, and also for musical celebrations and times of danger. We also got the mission to take some, what was it? We got to take something to a blue house, yellow roof, and yellow house with a blue roof. If you need achievement hunters, I recommend Chocobo Tea. Dez, good to see, glad to have you. Dez, because it's you, I don't know if you're making a pun or not, and I'm scared to ask. The real villains was the swamps of sorrow eating Aetrex. Yeah, important lesson. That's the Tesleen of the never-ending story. Do both vows have authority to appoint new promises, or is there a process behind that? I don't think we have any knowledge, AC, seeing as the only example of a rite of secession was done by a single entity. So, presumably they would come to a consensus. And I would guess that they would likely not, unless Kona and Wuklama adopt their own children as well, I would guess that they wouldn't actually take from their own progeny, mainly because they would want a representative sample of the people who would go on to be the rulers of Tural. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would speculate that in a future rite of secession, that all the delegates would be chosen from amongst the peoples of Tural. There's no way I can know that, but if you think about the way in which effectively that is what happened, I mean, obviously there wasn't a Hanu, there wasn't a Pelu, there wasn't a Moblin, right? But broadly, right, that the four promises were broadly representative, right? What's the motivation of the absconding alpaca? I don't know. What is the motivation of the absconding alpaca? Presumably, I've needed talents. I managed to round them all. They haven't been seen leaving via the gate, so I think it's safe to they're hiding somewhere within the city walls. How about it? Can you ask it around? I suspect. Pasture. Trying to find food, it seems like a weird one. The Pelu would probably be taking good care of them. So presumably it's not that. It's a joke regarding a certain media company we lost here. That sounds unlikely. First, Kona would need to get laid. Okay. To all the women out there, if a Mikote with that voice, like in any way, even if either tried to flirt with you or was incredibly nerdy around you, how would you feel? Because I feel like I know what the answer of like majority of the straight women in this audience would. But he is a nerd. I promise you, that's not as big of a problem as you think it is. Hey, mister, will you help me? Earlier today, I got a pretty painting of the city from a Shitona painter, and I showed it to my mom. She really liked it, and she sent me to deliver this fruit as a thank you gift. But now the painter isn't here anymore. I don't know what to do. Could you help me go around? Sure. Yay! Okay, so the painter was going to make one more picture, like this. Which means wherever we can see this view, that's where we will find him. So he's gonna be up like here, probably. Where is that alpaca? But he is a nerd. Yeah, it's not a problem. If you think you can't have met some of the... Yeah, you have not met some of the online community. Honestly, for a lot of the people, I'm pretty sure just being a Mikote alone would be enough. The promises don't really have a love life, not even Zoraal Ja. Do we know that? Well, I mean, Zoraal Ja kind of... You wouldn't call it a love life. I do love that I was so, like... Okay, who's fucking Zoraal Ja? No one. He's a battle sexual, right? Like, I was so like, okay, definitely Galul Ja is a clone, right? And I stand by my reasoning and everything for that. I do love that. I feel like all my reasoning is actually further vindicated by what actually happened. Only because the answer is like, yeah, he wouldn't want to fuck anyone. It'd have to be a very unique circumstance. Okie dokie. Ah, a special order of malt flour is here at last. Now I have all the ingredients to crafty baked loaves of rat bread. Haven't heard of malt flour? Mixy blend of wheat and my mix cocks. My turks.
Mycotoxins with a sweet stink smell and earthen shower. All breads and cookies are crafty baked with it. Essential elements of traditional Mabi cuisine. Since still the shopkeeper of Tural Ja refuses to stock it, my only option was to bulk buy with the Palo goods bearer. Now to go and bring back my package. Many thanks to kind Lowlander.
I love them so much it hurts. And I'm just gonna copy paste all of that text because it's important and I'm putting it in my notes. Little did Elio know Zoraal Ja had a simp. Truth. Race lore, allied societies. Moblins. Tural, Hanu, I can take that. Allied societies, Hanu, leave that note. Okay, cool. So Smash or Pass stream for Valentine's Day then? Yep, sure. You got it. God, he's such a nerd. I need to redact it. It's a relatively common meme format I've seen, Des. Yeah. Where is this freaking alpaca? Now I'll come back. As an aside, the original author of the Neverending Story, Michael Ends, wasn't too pleased with the film adaptation, stated it deviated, in his opinion, too far from the book. He requested the production be halted or the film's title be changed, when the filmmakers did neither and sued them to promptly lost the case. I mean, did he sign away the rights? Because, I mean, at that point, I mean, not that I... Also, I have not read the original book, so I don't know how much of a derivation is, but I have to say that, like, the film's wonderful. But that's an interesting factoid. Zoraal Ja was more of an obligation with a very worthwhile caveat for him. Even if he didn't enjoy a time alone with Teschel Ja, no idea if he did, mind you. Yeah, he doesn't seem to the type to give out the royal twin blades to any just pretty face, just like Teschel Ja. Yeah. Okay, so we know that the guy, the painter, painting. Oh no, but it was from an angle there, so presumably it needs to be. Kiko, good to go, have you. Scooby-Dee-Doo, Scooby-Dee-Doo-Doo-Doo. Ba-da-da. I saw a name poking out there. Aha! Dear me, you mean to say the package has arrived? I ate some dried reeds imported from Okanu, you see. Ordered them as soon as I heard the crop had recovered. Though I may live in Tural Ja now, I always keep my homeland close to the heart. To a Hanu like myself, there is no greater comfort than the smell of reeds when I walk through the door. Speaking of which, I'd better to go fetch them, eh? There are a few areas that could do with a bit of touching up. Over there? Nope. This seems like the right angle. You know what's really cool lore? Yokui magic using stone tablets inscribed with stories to conjure magic. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Dark Souls with miracles. I mean, to be fair though, what's the real difference between that and what an arcanist does, right? Sending what are pictograms, but effectively geometric symbols that can be used as a transference of ethereal manipulation in the same way that, you know, South Sea Isles circuitry or the general arcane symbols that we see upon arcanists' books. Okay, I'm tired for looking at this. I'm just gonna go. We'll see. We'll go to the other quest, and if we pass by some. Great chest. My favorite story about Guinevere is that she wasn't supposed to look like that, but the concept artist came back to Miyazaki so excited he couldn't say no. I always thought it was a primal summoning, but instead of being you summoned, well, a happening. Maybe we'll find some details on that as we go through, and we should go to Urkopachin next. Well, I never did think I'd run into you until Yolala of all places. I'm from the Studium's facility of biology. I've seen you before back in Old Charlian. Ah, that reminds me. You'll have to forgive the impertinence, but there just so happens to be a matter I could use your help with. I'm researching Turali ecosystems, and I'm currently on the hunt for one creature in particular. In truth, I barely set foot in the land before I made my discovery. Alas, as I was trying to secure the specimen for study, it got away from me. It has a somewhat peculiar cry, to say the least. The creature itself is covered in tawny brown fur, and is rather small in stature. The strangest thing is I asked some of the locals whether they had heard of such animals, and they had seemed quite baffled. Please tell me this is what I think it is. You don't happen to know of the creature I speak, do you? Sounds kind of like a giant beaver. A giant, you say? I should very much like to behold such grandeur with my own eyes. I shall conduct an extensive search of the port, which is where I would first saw the creature. Might I ask you to search the high ground? The residential district known as the Resplendent Quarter. No more once upon a time. We're not gonna do what you makey, just... Oh no, it's them. Yeah. Adventurers do love finding those big chests. I forgot the Dark Souls guy's name, so when you mentioned Guinevere and Miyazaki in the same sentence, I immediately thought there was a Ghibli Arthurian story I missed. I mean, that would be pretty rad. Yeah. Okay. My brain read over that real fast and thought that said dutiful dick ahead. Look, Zoraal Ja, I know you were waiting on a letter from your son, but I'm just asking that you cut me a little slack. True enough, we picked up a letter from your son back in Eorzean, but with all that evil area in the city, our cargo ended up all over the place. Until we take a stock of things, there's no telling where it might be.
Oh, I see. Well, please do come and find me if the letter turns up. I leave it over in the Resplendent Quarter.
Am I right in thinking you're an adventurer from Eorzean? Apologies about that just now. I tell you, I never thought I'd end up running into such much trouble right after dropping anchor. That's what he said. Say, I reckon you could help me fetch in the last few supplies of crates that got waylaid in all that trouble. I tell you, I'd rather sail straight into an howling gale than see me mother fretting over her son like that. I help gather the crates. I can get to searching for the letter. Beaver for Beastmaster or Blue Mage. Dude, if Beaver was one of the things you could get for Beastmaster, that would be rad. Yeah, or Blue Mage. I'll take either or. I'm striking out a tools on the part of MSQ. I need to go through the unending journey after work. Yeah, thanks. I swear, like, Althea, I'm not crazy. Like, they got mentioned in the Allied Society quest, and I'm like, I don't actually remember Wings of Reflection being explained. And I looked quickly, not deeply, through T-Tools, but everything I read kind of just started from the assumption you knew what they were. My understanding is that they're like the logistics and day-to-day body of workers in, compared to like the Wings of Protection? Are we allowed to talk about some more? I have not done it yet, AC, so please don't. High Tide Harbor. Due to the abundance of reefs in Tural coastal waters, marine visitors are forced to anchor their ships out at sea and board smaller vessels to make safe landfall. The harbor's name is no idle promise, as even boats with shallow drafts can be caught on the rocks when the tide is low. I do love that bit of like justification for why the like you don't see major ships. I think that's really rad. Wings of Protection, yeah, I think is the military. Yeah. It's like I don't remember the Wings of Protection. Yeah, I swear it's explaining MSQ as their diplomatic body in Tural. They're the diplomatic body. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. What's this? Is this? Okay, this is you know what? We'll go unlock that later. Anybody want to do Tender Valley with me later? Reflection of yes. However, that the broadness with which that could be applied, other than loosely thinking, is such that looks like all me crates are present and accounted for. Much obliged. Right. I got myself the letter to find. Here at the Wings of Reflection, we offer work to willing artisans by way of petition filed by the citizenry of Tural. If you would make a further inquiries, you need but speak with Maliali. Who says that, Denny? Good catch, though. Or Zoraal Ja, was it? I'll never find this bleeding letter in it. Oh, hold on. What's this here? Never thought I'd find the damn thing so quick. She said she lived in the Resplendent Quarter, eh? Didn't she? I hate to ask, but would you mind taking the letter to Zoraal Ja for me? It is from the other. Okay, yeah, it is the like blue unlock or whatever color it is unlocked for the leaves. That's why I had read it, but I didn't remember it. You get it over here, yeah, or it's not here. You talk to someone, but yeah, okay. Right, and someone else further explains it. Because the whole leave system, Wings of Reflection, was adapted, and the leave system was built off of the information that Kona brought back. Yeah. Atunawada and Tuli. 13. Okay, yeah, so it is like, if you just talk, it is, you either talk, I think there's someone like right here or something. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't talk to Mahili. Because that's what I'm saying. I understand that he's right there. I've already done that. What I'm saying is that this is Malihali, right? So, like, the person you talk to has to be right around here. I see you managed to find them. Thanks you for the package that safely reached my customers' hands. Pause? In the meantime, I've been browsing Bayside Bevy. These shops have all the most common daily necessities, along with a variety of goods from the far-flung corners of Tural. But Tural is the melting pot of culture with their own unique needs, and sometimes the limited selection here does not cut it. That's where we come in. As peddlers, we travel to those distant locales, buy their most sought-after goods, and deliver them to the residents here, for a price, mind. Speaking of travel, did you come here from Eorzean by chance? I've yet to venture out there for important goods, but one of these days, I might just have to make the trip. Oh, and before I forget, your fee. I hope we start seeing Pelu Pelu and other people out in Eorzea. In the sting of things. Oh, that's probably the tank. Multitude. That's belongs to Otherworldly Encounter. I assume Otherworldly Encounter is Strayborough, right? Yeah, oh no, straight. That's the obviously that's some lines, right? Hey, there's the alpaca. See, this is why you give up, so that you end up where you're supposed to be. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. The suitably soothed animal makes its way nonchalantly back to the alpaca stables. How have we not gotten a Cactar themed foot armor called Sabo Tenders? Seems like a missed opportunity. that would be that sabotage. That'd be pretty good. Admittedly, does. I'm happy there isn't a heavy use of the Hawaiian words in this game. Some of those really long names are really hard to pronounce if you don't know, like Kuapao. I mean, to be fair, you have names in fucking Zoraal like Shishinezwezi Springs or fucking Luatenya Niawasa, right? I mean, hell, even Husatsui is like one of the easy ones. Piariao Yona. Man, I'm so excited to make this video with as a pronunciation guide so I can fucking actually get my mouth around these words. I actually gotta sign time for that. Also, I mean, it makes sense that we haven't seen Hawaii, because I mean, Hawaii would, I mean, you have really the South Sea Islands are Polynesia, like kind of. But like, if there was a Hawaii, it's going to be further out in the glass ocean. It's going to be beyond the fathomless sea and out in the glass ocean, probably somewhere here. Assuming that they're not just going South Sea Isles for that. You know, or it could be these isles, but again, those wouldn't necessarily be, you know, literally it. Yeah, there's so much of the world to explore. I fucking love maps, but like, God, I want to explore the fathomless sea. I want to know what's gonna inside the Stardust Rend. I want to know what's in the was it Grave Shallows? I forget what the Great Shallows, I think. You know, obviously we're going to Shades Triangle. You know, I want to know what else is going on in the Glass Ocean. No shit, I want to know what's going on in Mirrorcidia. I also... Here, I'm going to set this quest first, and then I'm going to go over this. Well, my traveler, couldn't help but notice you staring at my crops then. Dabble in a bit of sowing and growing yourself, eh? How about you run a quick errand for me? By the way of things, I'll share some of the know-how we local farmers have cultivated over the years. Right as it is, all starts with the compost, and that's where you come in. I need your help getting a hold of the makings that go into the mulch. Uh-oh. Then you can't go wrong with the alpaca manure. Okay, well, at least he's being upfront. No need to look so worried. I'll get the dung delivered from the alpaca stables later. What I want you to do is go around and collect the vegetable scraps for me. I've got an arrangement with some of the eateries in the Tural, you see. I need to pay a visit to Zoraal Ja and Auntie's Tacos. I think you can do that for me? Okay, perfect. So, I'm about to have a conspiracy theory. I'm going to conspiracy theory this, and I want you guys to let me know if this is, like, so insane that I shouldn't... Maybe I should make a short about this. And before Shades Triangle, we'll do just that, yeah. Or Hawaiian Myth, I'm not sure the game's community could handle a flying detachable. Oh, I'm sure they would love it. Sounds like Kona, which is district, and Holland. Oh no. I mean, also Kona though, like Kona could be a name in Japanese. Kona is like the phonemes for Kona are particularly weird or uncommon. Okay. Hey, perfect. Mirror City is up right now. So we are currently on Mare Lamentorum. And you will notice something interesting about the tilt of the planet. You can see Mirrorcidia, and you can see right above this would be Thavnair. So this is Elsabard, Othard, Eorzean would be over there. And no matter how you turn it, you cannot see north of them. Now, why might this be important? See, you can never see north of... The farthest north you can see is Sharlayan, basically. So here's my question. We look at our world map. Farthest north we see is the Blind Frost. And hey, maybe there's just the Blind Frost. Maybe there's not a whole lot going on there. Maybe there's just an island. Why did Emmett Selk say what lies... What is it, beyond or in the Blind Frost? in Othar's far north. Maybe it's just a variant dungeon. Who knows? It may not be anything that crazy. I mean, to be fair, plenty of the stuff that he said, not all of it was completely insane, right? What's beneath the bounty, that was just a dungeon. I mean, it's an important dungeon, but it was just a dungeon. But a lot of it was important. Now, here's my conspiracy theory. What if Etheirys has an Arctic, and we just don't know about it? What if there is actually an Arctic continent on Etheirys? Or an Antarctic continent? And no one's explored it. That's my crazy conspiracy theory. I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. Y'all think I'm crazy? If 14 has Illuminati, I mean, 14 does have Illuminati. It's called the Illuminati. There are 2 flavors behind basket. The unrolled map of the globe is available. It's been data mined. Might we look at that? I mean, yeah. Do you mean the unrolled map that you see in your house? Because the unrolled version, or do you mean the one that you see in the cutscenes? Because that's just a more high-res version of this one. If you're talking about that data mined one. Or do you, sorry, you mean the world map texture that's labeled on top of that geometry that you see on Mare Lamentorum? Is that what you're getting at, Danny? Once Riddler, now Ruler. Let's go to that. It's where they say Naimi lives. Yeah, I mean the literal texture. So here's the thing. I wouldn't use that because unless we found something, which I don't think you're going to find anything. I will bet you $100 right now you will find nothing. They could still have something. It not being there is not representative of anything, because if the devs never intended you to see it, then it's not. Then it not being there doesn't tell us anything. And also, to be frank, if there was something there, we would know. We'll do this. I'll do that one later. That was gonna be a whole fucking scavenger hunt, it seems. Okay, after we do a couple more of these in Tural Ja, which map are you guys feeling like we should go to? No one, because you glad to have you. If there was an Arctic, what do you think could be there besides just ice, that is? It's a great question. Let's think from a historical standpoint, right? Presumably it would have existed for the past 10,000 years. The things that we could... At different points of time, people could have ended up there for different reasons. So, for instance, during the Calamity of Fire, that ice could have melted. Or during the Calamity of Ice, people could have crossed over into that Arctic region on a land bridge, or an ice bridge, the same way that people crossed over from the Mikote crossed over from Ilsabard, crossed the Bloodbrine into Eorzea, right? They didn't travel over here through the land bridge of Garabania. They traveled across the oceans here. So if we assume that maybe there were peoples here, we know there's tribes here. If there was some kind of ice bridge that would have led that's one possibility. So there could be relics of peoples from around the 4th Astral Era. Another possibility is if Allag explored into it, there could be either an Allag installation or ruins, which is kind of just always true, I guess, anywhere you're talking about M14. Except for Tural. It is really interesting. It is very interesting that so far, at least that I have seen, obviously there's some side quests left to do, there are no Allagan relics lingering around in Tural. Now, maybe that's because Xande was so focused on Mericidia that after conquering the 3 great continents, his focus was to Mericidia, and he would have traveled, his eyes would have traveled further west eventually. But it's noticeable. Other possibilities. What are some other interesting possibilities? Ruins that maybe were secured from the calamities. So, for instance, if ruins from this world sundered, if the ice of that region protected those ruins, they may have been saved from the calamities that Y'shtola suspects would have wiped them from the face of the world. What about tomestones of heliometry aesthetics? Do we have any proof that those tomestones are coming from Tural? I know you get them from doing content, but from a diegetic standpoint in game, I shouldn't say I guess diegetic. That's not really correct. But from a non-mechanical standpoint, does anyone say we are finding them in Tural? You are one of the Vauglamats and Taraj, yes. For doing this, I happen to have a small request for you. I understand that in Eorzean you have an organization called the Eventurers Guild. For some time now, the Wing of Reflection has been deliberating on whether to introduce a similar organization here. The issue is all the more pressing in light of recent events. If the city were to come under attack again, the Landsguard alone may be unable to cope. But before we proceed, we wish to canvass the people of Tural. I heard the guilds are often based in locales where residents gather, taverns and eateries and such. I believe Jabal Tia is a close approximation. I would ask that you visit Jabal Tia to discuss the matter with Brook Ivu and seek his permission to conduct a survey among the patrons. Do you have any speculations, no one? Because I'm trying to think about, obviously everything I've said so far I would say is probably the obvious things. You could imagine that there could be groups of Rogadin, kind of the same way that there's some up in Airslaint. If they traveled all the way to the New World or to the other parts of the world beyond Airslaint, you can imagine that they would have gone north. What are some ice places in other Final Fantasy games? You've got Macalania, where Macalania temples, not like the Macalania forest, but the ice and fields in 10. Is there any snowy place in 12? Not really. I may just be... No, of course. You've about Baromises. Of course. 11, I don't really know. 13, got some snowy. 9, sure, you got ice places. Yeah. 8, 7, 6. I mean, they've got quite a few icy zones that I could imagine being taken for some inspiration. I would suspect the most important thing I would assume is that if there was an Arctic, is that either there would need to be something of ancient historical value locked away in the ice. I think that's the one thing I would feel most confident on. Vocal Varmint and his companion seem to be willing to follow you. Lead the pair back to the determined naturalists at High Tide Harbor. So cute. Can I just have them follow me around always? Can we just I know that you could just have a minion, but what if instead we just take out a beaver? Do I have a beaver minion? I do not. Because just imagine a conga line of them. Oh, you are the fellow from earlier, yes? Here's the letter from your son. You found it. This came all the way from the sun, Zoraal Ja and Eorzean. Wait, Zoraal Ja? Oh no! Did you say Zoraal Ja? My son became acquainted with an Eorzean mage who was visiting Tural. They ended up traveling back to Eorzean together. Apparently, they wanted to promote a blue mage techniques that they learned from the Walakuri or some such. Zoraal Ja has always been very good at keeping in touch, but with everything that's happened of late, I couldn't help but assume the worst. You can't imagine what a relief it was laying eyes on that letter just now.
I do hope he's eating well, though. I wonder if they have cornbread in Eorzean. It has always been his favorite.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I have a very not PC thing to say.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like a moment to read my son's letter. Please, give my thanks to the deckhand.
Well, look, why can't I tell her I know your son? He's a great boy. Relish! Good to go, Nadia. In Tural, you also get Night World gold pieces, the likes you see on the first, rather than Allegan ones. Interesting. No, it's just screwing around. Yeah, no, thanks. That Night World gold pieces are because of a whole other reflection thing. Night World gold pieces? What, am I going crazy? I have no idea what those are. Oh, those are just the gold bags, except for they're not labeled gold. They're railed night. That's why. Do I have any in my inventory? I just had some if I didn't. Night World bronze piece, Night World silver. A coin of ancient currency, whether design its face may have once born, now entirely lost to time. A coin of ancient currency, whatever design. Why is it called Night World? Oh, Night World. Of course, Night World, because it would be referring to the world of night. Okay. No idea, honestly. First thing came to mind was Primal Prison, and that is just from the top of my head. I guess the thing is, like, the Primal Prison, the only Primal Prison that we understand or know about with Allag in particular would have been the Aether-Chemical Research Facility, right? At the point at which they had a Primal Prison, they would have probably kept it closer to home to use them for power and for other reasons. Well, I mean, okay, second. No, I take that back. There's not just one. There's another very famous Primal Prison. It's called Dalamud. So no, to your point, maybe there was another installation. I guess just why keep it so far from the Heartland at that point? And we don't have any legends or tales of any primals in the New World that would connect to that, or Maricidia. I mean, maybe there was another primal in Maricidia beyond the Warring Triad, right? But we don't have any history for any of that. Yeah, there wouldn't be any precedence for it, but it works. It definitely works, no one. Definitely works. Actually, after giving some thought, if this Arctic was Makalania reference, what if it hosted 14 Sin? Look, all I know is I want Sin in this game. And I don't need Sin, like, it doesn't need to be the same as 10. It doesn't even need to technically look the same. It can be just like a representation of the same sort of relationship idea Sin has to Spira. And I'm happy to be another reflection or whatever. But, like, look, if they put Sin in a locked away prison in the far north, I will be happy. I will be happy. My question is that then do you make Sin, not spoiling 10, but talking around something, do you make Sin a primal, or do you make Sin almost an Ultima weapon analog of a weapon designed to fight against primals? Because that also makes more sense. Faith and prayer given her sentience and consequence. Does the High Seraph count as a primal? No. No, I do not think the High Seraph in any way counts as a primal. There's no evidence to suggest it should, and every bit of information that we get about Ultima specifically imply a different kind of otherworldliness. So no. It's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible, but I don't think so. Thank you. These two stragglers arrived safe and sound a little while ago. I recognize this smell. Let me guess. You ignored the advice and got rewarded with the face full of a pack of spit. I hope you've learned your lesson. The stink will be with you for a few days yet. Whoops. That's what you get for clicking on rather than soothing. These alpaca are direct descendants of the mounts we Palu presented as his timely friendship when Tural was founded. I am sure you heard the tale of Galul Jajan catching a golden alpaca. Well, these creatures were sired by the shiny beast itself. To say that they had quite the pedigree would be a gross undervaluation. And you can be sure that their legacy survives today. These beasts are fleet of foot and strong of limb, just like their ancestors. If you ever had need of a mount, you can do far worse than the Tural alpaca. Right, I should attend to that too, so that you so kindly brought back. I appreciate all the help. So far, not anything crazy for lore notes, which, I mean, hey, that's fine. It can just be flavor. Is mayonnaise a prime? The Moon, Zodiac's prison, the first primal prison. There's a cafe. So yes, you're super correct. AC, but I was referring more specifically to Alag creating primal prisons. But yes, you're right that there are other instances of primal prisons. I thought it'd be a while before we go to Tender Valley, so I'm queued into the AR to get the weekly reward. I ended up in a group in progress that was the final boss at 25 minutes elapsed. I mean, look, I'm glad that it's still a challenge. I'm surprised it is. Because, I don't know. I really like this alliance raid. I think it's a really fun fight, and I really like that I really like how much more the tanks have to do for fights like the archangels.
Oh, you see this, the Adventurers Guild will look to assemble here at Zoraal Ja. Well, we have been getting more foreign patrons of late, and they do seem to struggle when it comes to finding guides and swords for hire. I suppose this place would be ideal for putting a traveler in touch with the mercenaries and what have you. Still, we might have a hard time convincing the patrons that they benefit from these guilds you speak of. Anyway, feel free to mingle. Just don't make it sound like the palace have already committed to the idea.
Okay. Oh. Am I overheating? No, I'm not overheating. I assume the High Seraph is almost an ultra-terrestrial kind of thing. Yeah, the impression is that it's either from another dimension or from out in the Sea of Stars. Horseradish is not a problem. Rip. Yeah. Got a lot of Scree lore from that dungeon. Did you, though? Do you get a lot of... Do you get the existence of a thing, but what is lore do you actually acquire in particular, right? Okay. Which is going to come first? Ooh, here we go.
What need do we have for an organization like that? Vauglamath has our interests close at heart. Why, she is often in here listening to our troubles. Besides, Brug Evu already works hard to make Zoraal Ja a welcoming place for all, foreign visitors included.
That's not the point, but okay. There's some lore in the post. No. Don't get me wrong, Relish. I'm not saying there's no lore in Tender Valley. There's plenty. My point is, how much lore specifically around the Great Serpent is there in Tender Valley beyond the existence of the entity that exists there and the surrounding architecture? The main thing that implies is a replication of this existing entity across reflections in one way or another, be that it is its own creation or something sundered across reflections. So, or like there's multiple possibilities there. Or the Okui bearing witness, the Okui mystics bearing witness to it at places in which the layers between reflections were thin. So like there's lots of good lore, juicy lore, but how much like Serpent of Ronka specific lore is there?
I'd be more than happy dealing with the adventurers if they were all like you. But if this place was suddenly flooded with boarish shell swords, that's another thing entirely. I'm not looking to tar you all with the same brush, but you know how some of their ilk behave. Gazing out at the beach, sipping on a glass of something sweet and refreshing. That's what Zoraal Ja is about. Made to never change. So adventurers would set up a shop here in Zoraal Ja. Well, if it means us regular folk can find people willing to solve our problems, I'd be all for it. Zoraal Ja never seemed to care much about our plight. You could plead all you liked, but a Lance Guard would rarely get involved. Then again, we've already got the Wing of Protection and the Wing of Reflection. We'd likely be better served getting the institutions we do have to play their part before we try anything.
There's also the talk of the blessing possibly being given to us, but yeah, not a huge most implication. It's mostly implications for future content. Depends. Sorry, which blessing? I don't forget that part, Relish. But also, I hope you're right, and it may broadly tie into the concept of the perception of reflections cross on places where there's thin layers between them and a repetition of certain ideas. So hopefully, but it also may be more of a postulation that does not play into anything, but also fuels our understanding of it. For some reason, those great snakes respond to us specifically, Ronka and Tural. Yeah. That there is an even greater serpent is lore enough. Oh, did I lose the... Oh, because I logged out, I must have lost them.
Did Tapipia sent you? I made sure to set aside all these scraps and peelings you need. They're yours for the taking. Of course, there's plenty of traders selling vegetables at the base of Bevy, but being able to source our produce straight from these seafoam fields is a real boon for us. It doesn't come too much fresher than that, I tell you. That's what they're called, the seafoam fields. Seafoam fields, okay. The Dawn Herald is the giant drum. Oh man, why does my head hurt already? That might be my new meds. The giants, yeah, can we talk about the serpent reacted and woke to us and how he might be blessed somehow? Oh yes, from the blessing from the yeah. I wasn't sure if you were alluding to the blessing of light or more particularly anything else, but yeah, the blessings associated with it. Well, no, because the blessing does come from the MSQ, because it's not from the Qatari thing, right? Because it's from when we enter in the temples in the Point X patch, I believe. No, wait, no, because we had the veneration of the V to also enter. Where does the blessing come in 5.0 or 5.9? Good question. Let me know if any of you know. Beyond Hydaelyn's blessing, I mean, we have multiple blessings. We have the Kojin blessing. We have Hydaelyn's. We have the Wanderer's charm. We have plenty of blessings. Blessings abound. What if like Armanda's prior to became a Vidu-dra was a great serpent? I mean, if they act like auspices, which literally is pointed out, I think at least once, maybe twice, the similarities between auspices and Vidu-dra. Actually, I have a note on this. Vidu-dra, okay. Known Vidu-dra. Valley Garmanda, Roll Quest. Dang it, okay, I don't have a note on it. Warrior of Light using the good old blessing stack. Good old blessing stack. You got that letter over to Zoraal Ja, did you? Like I said, you need to see someone worry for your loved ones. Glad we can put our mind at ease. Most Mammal Ja that Ed for Eorzean end up as mercenaries. I imagine there's a fair few who set sail and never get word back home. Seems like old Zoraal Ja's son was a decent lad, though. I tell ya, all this has got me pining for my family. Left them back in Limsey, you see. Not that there's a time for dilly-dallying. Not when these work wants doing. Thanks for your help, adventure. Not sure. I'm not good at it, but boy, do I enjoy doing the Limson accent. This is why 5th edition D&D introduced the concentration mechanic. Those are dungeons. We're not going to do that one. Okay, so I still need to do Gilding the Lily. I'm still convinced the serpent is Azim's familiar and has somehow survived the Sundering. I would postulate something different. Relish. What if the serpent itself was an entity in the unsundered world and sundered, and that is why the serpent of Ronka and its the other serpents exist across multiple reflections? The Bibia is after his vegetable scraps, is he? Say no more. Make a decent taco. You can't cut corners when it comes to meat and spices, but vegetables are just as vital. Mine are packed full of the best produce you can get, and all grown by Tapia itself. We business owners have to look out for one another, after all. Azim is a word.
Oh, also about that. Oh, yeah? Would you still love me if I were... I know Valley Garmanda ain't no white... Sushi no Noko. Yeah. Sushi no Noko, yeah. Do tell, Marin. Do tell. Presumably, she sells other things other than tacos because you can see kebab and other stuff at the front of the stand. I was saying Great Servant was inspired by, oh, Tsuchinoko. Sure. I kind of want to see a short story on the ancient who created mosquitoes. Like he's just some asshole everyone hated. I mean, they have a natural place in the environment, right? I can imagine that someone in Elpis had to be the guy who made creatures that people were not a fan of for the betterment of the ecology, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. I got here. I got them. Great White Tsuchinoko. Initially thought to be a mere ornament, the heavy bugyo was just as surprised as you when the squat snake-like creature began to move on its own. According to revered in the far east as a serpentine bringer of luck, it must have been wriggled on board a ship bound for the shores of Slomensa. Oh, back with me scraps, are you? Much obliged. Now with a little heat and time, these odds and ends will make a fine compost. But that's not all they're good for. Spread them on straight onto the soil and they make for a decent fertilizer in any pinch. That's what folks used to do in the olden days, anyhow. But then the head of reason and his companions got to put in their knowledge of plants and what not to use, sowing the seeds of the composting techniques we use today. I named this farm Seafoam Fields for a good reason. The salt of the ocean air brings with it plenty of minerals, which help the plants thrive. All it takes is beyond that is a bit of compost to bring out the best in the soil. With all these scraps, I should be set for a good while. Appreciate the help, traveler. For what it's worth, I hope you learned a thing or two from my old patent Lennon. Can't you eat a Tsuchinoko and Snake Eater? Also, would like to see the one who made a platypus, who was likely drunk at the time. Okay, is a platypus any weirder than a shark that can walk? I would argue no. Well, no, platypus actually are kind of pretty fucking weird. But they made a shark that can walk. Okay. Let's go turn in Gilding the Lily, and then we're going to go turn in my daily quests for... There should be a freaking Aetheryte, like, right here. Well, you know what? I bet, you know what? Instead of being an Aetheryte here, why don't I try this? Oh, no, there's a wall everywhere. Yeet! Who needs knees? I don't need knees. I got a hover bike. Weird A rank where we parry the platypus, no infringement. That would be a cute reference. I would also point out, like, look, there is a giant Namazu as a fate. Anything's possible. And I invented a concept of helmets. Solid half of an hour of silent judgment for the... Oh, my lord. You spoke to the patrons, yes? Thank you. What did you, the people of Tural, have to say about the notion of the Adventurers Guild? Well, some are for it, some are against it, but a lot are worried about what an onrush of adventurers might do. I see. You would say some patrons would welcome the influx of people willingly to aid them, but others were wary of the welcoming of unsavory characters, the Balviatia. Rather more lukewarm response than I had hoped for. It seems that first and foremost, there is room for improvement with our current institution. Besides, the patrons should rather attach to the Jabal Yatia they know and love. I have no doubt that the Adventurers Guild would flourish here in Tural, if only the concept were more familiar. Nevertheless, I fear that the time is not yet ripe for such discussions. Introducing the guild without the necessary groundwork would likely prove counterproductive. So for the time being, my colleagues and I will continue our deliberations. Thank you for your assistance, adventurer. Wow. Cafe jump scare. Wait, what the hell is that minion? Is that from Yokai Watch? I can't believe I missed that event when it came back around. Okay, we're not gonna do, we won't. Oh, we still need to do this. You know, let's figure out. Let's figure out the artist. I thought for sure you would have been here. That's it. Maybe it's that from an off angle. That's the central pillar. He's got more than that. It does make me think of the world before the ancients and what they might have bulldozed over for the perfect world, or they might come back and bite us in the butt. Yeah, you know, Relish, my impression based off of, obviously, we have such a little understanding of the world in Sunder that maybe it's possible. My impression with the world in Sunder is that there wasn't a lot that predated the ancients, that the ancients are the first life that, like, basically had any particular hold or sway over the world. Oh! That's why I couldn't find it. I had to bring him to it? No wonder I wasn't able to get it. I mean, there's so little we do know about that time. But yeah, that's my personal hypothesis at the moment, is that there isn't necessarily a thing for them to have bulldozed over, as they are effectively the initial inheritors of the star in it without a prior history before it. Although seemingly uniform in appearance, a closer look at those domiciles reveals the eclectic adornments added by residents, decorations emblematic of each inhabited land of origin. Tural were a giant bird, and these richly colorful homes would form its resplendent plumage. That's cool. I never did really notice that. So you got the green. Oh, that's cool. They do have different colors on the outside. I wish the roofs were fully that color. I feel like it would help really distinguish. It has confounded me that despite the stated similarities, the Vidu-dra has so far not shown to be capable of intelligence and speed like the Auspice. Well, if they're anything similar, you know, if they fall to the Aramitama, I mean, not literally a one-to-one, but if there's any similarity in that, it would make sense, right? Yeah, I definitely think they're distinct cousins, but I wonder the degree to which their creation is different. Like, one of the things I always speculate on with auspices is the fact that the narrative of the auspice is part of why the auspice only exists in the East. Like, why don't auspices exist in Ilsabard and Aldenard, right? There's no reason that they shouldn't, which means that there has to be an underlying principle that's different. It's not a simple writing oversight. Oh, no. Definitely not. This is not a writing oversight. This is very much a lore thing. Yeah. A while back, I made a meme called Perry the Elidipus. We got the Griffin by accident. Why not Platypus? I question your babysitting skills, Elio. Maybe the Vidu-dra are lacking the spiritual aspect the auspices have. I mean, there's an aspect to which that faith and belief definitely could affect the way in which they're created in their dispositions. That's for sure. I think, I don't even say distinct possibility. That was my leading theory before we knew anything about Vidu-dra. Might have to do with Eastern philosophy with spirits. Yeah, exactly. The faith around Kami compared to the beliefs of other peoples and the beliefs of creatures in Tural. It may be like, what is the practice of a creature accruing that sort of antiquity without faith accrued to it? Yeah. I mean, look, at this point, we still haven't seen what the trial series is going to be, and I wouldn't be surprised if I think the trial series is either going to swing real far crazy into something we're not expecting, or it's going to be Vidu-dra. I think Vidu-dra work really well in that it would... there's a lot to explore there. I think the downside to that is that we already have, 5 plus 3, because we have all the role quests have associated Vidu-dra with them with the totems. You have the one from Ue Iwata, you have the Valley Garmanda, and you have Ixchaksamunj from Viper. So we know of at least 8 Vidu-dra, and I'm fairly certain we know more. I think some are referenced in Hunts or elsewhere. So there's 8 off the top of my head. Voltaire, good to see you, glad to have you. Make sure to tell your brother he's wrong. Greetings. Greetings, traveler. Oh, and I see you brought a little Mammal Ja from earlier. Oh wait, actually he's a... Greetings, traveler. And I see you brought a little Mammal Ja from earlier. Oh wait, no, he's a Chitona.
I was looking all over for you. My mom said to give you this as our thanks for the pretty painting.
You came all this way just to thank me with a snack. You're far too kind, little one. It was little more than a doodle. I was rewarded enough by the smile on your face. Aww. I take it you're her chaperone then. Thank you for looking out for her. This town is a special place in my heart. We should tone our long-lived people. I have a good fortune of watching the community sprout up from nothing. 80 years, man. I used to think that this country would never amount to much, but seeing all these vibrant cultures thriving alongside one another in harmony, I wish to immortalize its beauty with what talent yet remains to me.
You must really love Zoraal Ja, huh? Well, don't worry. Me and my mom are going to love the painting forever and ever and ever.
It's an honor, little one. Now then, seeing as I've finished my current painting, I think it's time I found a new vista to admire. I hope to see you around, friends. I think fog can be beautiful, too.
I never really thought about how pretty our town was. I feel like I learned something today. Thanks again for helping me find the painter, mister. I'm going to take good care of this picture. That I will. But before you go, this is for you.
So pretty. Vidu-dra or Chasm is my bet. Really hoping. Yes, I'm really hoping for the Stardust Rend as well. Relish. That was my. The thing is, I don't think those are exclusive. I think you could have Vidu-dra within the Stardust Rend for sure. The Chasm beneath Zorgor the Boundless. Because at some point we're going out into the Fathomless Sea one way or another. Like Eastern spirits. No, like kami, not like alcohol. Elio being asked, watch a child, and afterwards the child come back with an in-depth knowledge of history of the Alcan Empire. Correct. Any potential espers we can draw on for inspiration that aren't the Warring Triad? There's no espers left that haven't been used. There was one, I think, that when we look at the list of everything in 6, there's in 6. If we look at 12, Zalera has not shown up other than its name as a server. I'm sure there's a couple. We also haven't had the Elidibus Zodiarch thing. But obviously, it couldn't be named Zodiarch. Another possibility is how the two groups are treated. Since Tural treat the Vidu-dra as beasts to be put down, it could confluence their payment. Yeah, exactly. No, and that's exactly what I was trying to get at earlier. Exactly. Where, like, the perception of them being not things to abide by or to have any reverence for may affect their disposition. We know that's in some ways true about even the Four Lords, in that their dispositions were affected by Tenzin. Tenzin. Thank you. Tenzin. I don't know who I was just thanking myself, I guess. Tenzin. And that their dispositions were being affected by the people around them. So that's very likely. Zalera, Exodus, and the name reusers Zodiarch, Chaos, and Zeromus. Yeah. Some 6 espers that could make for Vidu-dra, which I haven't fought as primal yet. Maudlin, Raiden, Crusader, Ragnarok. If I'm not mistaken, though. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong about. Let's pull them up. I can just sit on my goddamn chair. Display capture. Why? Oh, that's why. Give me a second. Okay. Let's look at the lists. Siren already done, Kachi already done, Kieran already done, Ramu already done, Ifrit done, Carpal, Maudwin. But if I'm not mistaken, Maudwin is just based off of, yeah. No, Maudwin could still work. Although, why am I feeling like he showed up in something? It doesn't say that they showed up in anything. What was I thinking? He hasn't really shown up, so yeah, this could definitely still work. Bismarck done, Phantom's done, Unicorn done, Kettle, Zone Seeker, Golem, Seraph, Fenrir, Lakshmi, Quetzali, Phoenix, Ragnarok, Valley Garmonda, Midgard Summer, Alexander, Odin, Raiden, Crusader. There was a reason I said we were talking about these and I thought that they didn't work. What was it? I mean, Crusader's got multiple forms. That could be interesting. Why are all the wikis so goddamn unoptimized? Oh, I didn't think Raiden because Raiden is effectively just Odin. I mean, he's kind of cool. Like, there could be a reflection there. I just don't see... Raiden doesn't really work for a Tural. Any of the peoples don't really work for... And then Ragnarok already got used. Ragnarok's already effectively it's just Eureka Orthos. Zone Seeker was kind of interesting, but again, that's more likely to be something like a Void Sin. I mean, even if its whole form looks like what's its face from Dunscape. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like it, but like the silhouette. Kettlebell Pets. This got used as an enemy already in the game. A version of it already exists in 14. It's not called the same thing, but it's already in the game. And then Maduin works in that it's that's not something we've seen, but also it doesn't work in that the humanoid things and like all the auspices are specifically not human. Like the old Narnia quote that if you're being treated a dumb animal, you become one. Yeah, 100%. Did we ever get the explanation for why Tural itself was not damaged heavily by the storm despite its coastal location? Good construction, coral breaking up the waves. My supposition is just that if we look at where it got hit, right? The places that we know that specifically got damaged was Kozumaoka here. So the force probably came in like this, which means that Tural was hit, but it was not primarily hit. Like it wasn't like funneled through here. It hit straight up because Kozumaoka's got hit hardest. Yakta L doesn't seem like it had a lot of damage, but it's also kind of protected. You know what's interesting? You've got the higher elevation area here. Presumably this is the lower forest and this is the upper forest. This is the Jatika Heartlands, right? Which makes me wonder what this area is. I also wonder where the other two walks are going to be. You know what? Like, the Walk of Echoes being here is interesting because it's like, where are the other two going to end up? Cool. Let's get these beavers home. What about Vidu-dra based on Native American ancient folklore like Coyote? Oh, I definitely. I would definitely. Yes. Super likely. Other idea, I got to use a Machina for real, 10-2 and Adept as the trial series for Alexandria Super Weapon. Yeah, no, look, I 100%. I've been of the mind that like reusing Vegnagun for Alexandrian Super Weapon would be rad as hell. However, if anything, I would assume that we're going to see a Necron reference rather than that, if only because 9. But yeah, if we never see a Vegnagun by the end of 14, I will be surprised. Not unhappy, like it's not necessary, but I will be surprised. Real question though, how Yokui got pulls going into the Rend. Infinite, I think about that all the time, and I'm not even joking. We'll go look at that in a second. Zalarex is, yeah, we must become the Tural, Tenzin, yeah. We gonna hate me for this, but if the Vidu-dra auspices are influenced by thoughts and perceptions, does that constitute dynamis influence? No. Well, yes and no. So, okay. Man, I never came out with that What is Dynamis video because I got sick. I need to do that. And I say this stuff like this all the time. I just need to shut up and do it. Okay. So, Dynamis is affected by emotion. And, like, Dynamis is an energy that is affected by emotion. Its governing premise is that it is affected and influenced by emotion and will. Like, that is what... Aether is affected by will. But it's also affected by emotion. We know emotion affects that. Prayers are a form of thought that is both, it affects the Aether and Dynamis both. So the limit to where that interaction is Dynamis oriented or not is unclear, but it's also worth remembering that, like, while we have instances of Dynamis working in tandem with Aether in Limit Break, usually they tend to be more counterproductive towards each other. So just because something's affected by emotion or thought does not necessarily mean it is Dynamis. Modouin is also known as Medine in 11. So there's room for him. Yes, I meant in 9. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I can imagine. Oh, you know what? Oh. Yeah, okay. See, this is why I was confused, because I thought Modouin was the Moogle. That's why. Yeah, because Medine in 9 was yeah. Okay, that explains why I was confused. If Modouin or Medine gets used, you know where would be a really good place for them to get used? I want to see if any of you can guess it, because I think it's, not I want to say obvious, but I'm going to say, like, I think it's probably where I would expect it to get used. Like Penance, Nemesis, and Vegnagun. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Penance, Nemesis, Vegnagun. Yeah, all good examples. I mean, Odin Rehash would be interesting since he has so little relation to most except for Relish, Odin has direct connections to Eureka and Eureka Orthos. Like, the entirety of Odin's story is explained in Eureka and Eureka Orthos. Like, it's all just tied to Eureka. Like, Odin is just an extension. It's one of the weapons created by Eureka, and then you see further extensions of those weapons created in Eureka Orthos, right? Unless there's something else I'm missing, but please do let me know. Kozan and Kuzamaoka and Tuliol are far enough apart to have different weathers. Yeah. We know that the storm hit Tuliolal, it just didn't do nearly as much damage. But it's also weaker at Aether, so not sure how much it affected Vidu-dra because they're so Aether dense. Not sure which part that was exactly. Things about Necron. Someone mentioned Japanese name means Dark Eternal. So we already got it through the Queen Eternal after a fashion. Oh yeah, I am like 100. I have been 100%. Never say 100%. I am like 99%. I'm like 95.5% sure that Sphinx is going to either become or create Necron, because that makes so much sense with where the Point X is heading and the themes of Dawntrail. So yeah, if the 7.3 fight is not Necron, I will be shocked. Brilliant, simply brilliant. Not one but two. I only spotted a single specimen earlier. Little did I think there'd be another lurking nearby. They both seem remarkably docile. What a marvelous stroke of luck to be reunited with my quarry so quickly. This rather vindicates my decision to travel all this way. You see, our professor recently absconded, leaving me and my fellow researchers vying for the newly vacated position. This is just what I need. If I can work this discovery into a paper, it will do wonders for my standing within the faculty, and put me one step closer to that tenured position. Suffice it to say, I'll be keeping a close eye on these two and tending to them with the utmost care. I can't wait to conduct a thorough study. Let me guess. You're absconded, Professor? Ain't Modouin that big scary dragon from Skyrim? Alduin. Alduin, anyways. Okay, let's go finish my daily quests. Okay, who else was fucking thrilled when not only the Pelu Pelu were a 10-10 Final Fantasy 10-10-2 reference, but also we got Rin's Travel Agency music. But then also a bunch of the side quests, not a bunch, every so often throughout the quests. For instance, when you need to fight off enemies, the enemy you fight off is an Ochu, which is like a specific enemy that shows up a lot in 10, particularly in a place called Kilika or Luca that looks a lot like no, Kilika. Yeah, because Luca's where Kilika, where that's like a rainforest like this, and the Ochu looks just like it. It's super good. Eden, Odin, and Odin. We could have gotten it. Well, no, you can't get Eden, Odin, because Eden, Odin, all the primals in that you fight in Eden are based off of MSQ primals. Odin's an optional fight. I think it's just funny that 90% of the time when I'm doing the battle quest, I don't have to enter combat. Yeah. Remember the wise words of Necron: fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Yeah, Necron quotes Yoda. Voltaire, oh my lord and Jesus mighty all the cross. Holy shit. Thanks, Voltaire, for the 20 memberships. Everybody enjoy your emotes. I've got a fun new emote that's coming out soon, too, by the way. Rogue Voodoo, Fluffy T, Strelin, Sasaki, Dagner, Gregarious, Deathberry, oh no, you're just typing. Halitation, Fabulous Mike, Hose, Blake, Lucan, Nikki, Cry, Vox, Fairychild, Valkyrie. Yeah, I've got to get going. Have a good one, Deathberry. I hope you have a great evening. Also, don't forget to turn on the ability to receive memberships on your account if you haven't already. Damn. And oh my god, has it really been 28 months? Holy moly, me oh my. Okay, who here does this music? I just realized that some of you might not know. So if you didn't realize, in Final Fantasy X, this is the travel agency music. What job did I have all this on? Answer. Yeah. I didn't realize I had my milestone chat available. Thank you so much, Voltaire. Yeah, and also friendly reminder right now, the money obviously goes towards funding the Eorzean archives, but right now the primary goal we're working towards is a Stormblade collector's box. We're slowly collecting all the boxes from the past. So far we've got Heaven's Word and Dawntrail. Also, I have a bunch of Cactars. Oh, my mom gave me a birthday present, or Christmas. Sorry, it's a Christmas present. I didn't show you guys. So I got this as an import from Japan. If I can get him in the light. He doesn't have enough light right now. But if you put enough light on this, he waves his arms up and down. Also, I'm tweaking the model a bit, but I finally fixed my 3D printer, so I've been working on printing a barrel tender for backdropping. Absolute legend, yeah. Completely over my head, to be honest. Most of what I know of 10 are the basic premises and the memes. As someone who loves 10 deeply, I am annoyed at many of the memes. Because many of the people who only know the memes have a very specific perception about those memes that are completely disconnected from what... The memes for 10 are particularly caustic to it because devoiding those scenes from context drastically affects your perception of them.
Hi, you're the one we let the handle last time. I would be grateful for your help again. Take the wooden plate and deliver it to your pack handler.
In particular, the laughing, meme. Which, I get it. It's a good meme. I get it. It's a good meme. But also, it's a beautiful scene, and it breaks my heart. Blake, yeah. Enjoy your emotes. Thanks, Voltaire. Again, thank you, Voltaire. Rin was an interesting character by voice lines alone. Yeah, no, Rin's a very interesting character. Look, Final Fantasy X is absolutely amazing. Incidentally, I was the one who posted the before screenshot of Port Doga to the console games wiki. You're welcome. Well, thank you, Danny. Doc Poga. I get them mixed up. Yeah. No worries. I feel like laughing about this. Memes are the DNA of the soul. I also, now that we're going to be streaming more, I probably will go actually back to, obviously Nere's basically had to like fully take off from the archives for a while just because life. I'll try contacting them more, but I may go back to just playing the Final Fantasy games solo. And I really want to play Final Fantasy X and also some of the new stuff. Like I haven't played Rebirth yet. And I had never played the 16 DLC either. So I got a lot of stuff to do. I forgot I was carrying a box. Wait, where am I supposed to turn it in? Oh well, that's fine. Why do I have so many quests here? Let's just turn them all. There we go. That's much better. Much better. I do love how quick most of these quests are. Especially recently going back and doing all of like the kobolds and other stuff.
Ah, you must be the travel agency special advisor. Thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to see your skills in action. It's a privilege to learn of the fearless warriors who helped slay Valley Garamanda. I'll be sure to take plenty of notes. Left a hunk of meat in the underbrush to try to lure out some fiends. If you could deal with any creatures that appear, I shall watch at a safe distance and study your technique.
And also the fact that they all call them fiends is even more 10 references. We ever gonna have a merch store? Coffee mugs, t-shirts, marketable Elio plushes that we squeeze and saves 1 of 20. So because right now we're a pretty tight-knit community that's like not huge, but we used to have a store. We had like a Rebel store, and technically we still have it. It had like stickers of the emotes and stuff, but it didn't sell that many, frankly. So it just took a lot of effort to upkeep. So if I continue to make more videos and the archives grows, we might consider doing it, because not even for vanity. It's hard to explain. It's not even for vanity, but having an Elio plushie would be adorable, just to be like, you know, because it's not just me. It's like, you know, also. But like, yeah, maybe someday. I definitely would love like a shirt that says "Good to see you, glad to have you" with like a T, like the Archon teacup or like the T logo or something in it. I need to probably hire someone to draw that.
It was all over so quickly. I could not take a note of everything, but the way you accepted the enemy's movements and positioned yourself during the fight was very instructive. I hope to take what I've learned here and apply it to my training. The safety of my future customers depends on it.
Imagine if we get Gullwing's equivalent in 14 based on Uniriku and Pain. That'd be cool. Or even just some of the airships. Look, I have said it and I will say it again. Every 10 reference we get, I am just happy we got another 10 reference. Man, I was so happy when we got Anima. Because Anima's probably my favorite Aeon. Just because, like, there's so many levels to, like, Anima. Like, from a lore perspective, from a design perspective, from an Anima Solis perspective. Like, there's so much. Oh. Anima. And I love how Anima got interpreted in 10 or in 14 is wonderful. It's such a I think a brilliant way to interpret it. Best minion. 2, because he's glad to have you. Jackbox Nights, we make the design of TKO. Well, so definitely, Des, I want to go back to having some more Jackbox Nights for sure. No promises as to when right now, as I focus on getting back into now that we're doing more regular streaming and actually editing videos and stuff. Once that gets all settled, then we'll definitely go for it. Let's see how packet handler. I love how both Anima and the big purple robot thing from Dawntrail are basically red herrings. Oh yeah, Eliminator. Or it's Eliminator or Annihilator. It's one of those two. I think it's Eliminator. I mean, anime was a super red herring. And I remember getting that in the dungeon and being like, this isn't a trial? And then I got to Zodiac on the moon. I'm like, this is trial 1? Who did transforming gun sights first? Tales of Vespero or Ruby? Don't know Xenos counts. I mean, transforming gun sights I think has been that's been in anime since late 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s. When did Tales of Vespero come out? Vesperia. Tales of Vesperia is 2008. Yeah, there was examples of a fucking gun sight well before 2008. Right, Shupuff? Think Shupuff exists somewhere in 14? On another reflection, I sure hope so, AC. I sure hope so. Or somewhere in Tural. Maybe somewhere far in the south or something. I may do a few fewer voices for missions I've already completed, just because I need to let I've been talking a lot. Do any of you guys regularly watch other streams? I ask only because, like, the few times I feel like I've watched other streams, I feel like I talk a disproportionate amount compared to how much I see other streamers watch. And I don't know if that's because I don't watch a ton of streams, so I don't know if I just have I have weird selection bias on that. Maybe Maricidia. Yeah, Shootpuffs and Maricidia. Totally. Right, Shootpuff? I wouldn't make it into party cute. I admit, I would make into pretty cute plushie. Yeah. Yes. See, Infinite. Yes. Yes, you would make it you would make a very, very cute plushie. V would make a cute plushie. Ray would make a cute plushie. Lollifells are just ready to be made plushie. Oh wait. Actually, you know what? I forgot. Infinite. I have a picture of you as a plushie. Give me a second. Ah, yeah. Okay. Here, I found it. Let me open it up. Okay, let me turn on the Discord so you guys can see it. Okay, yep. You guys ready? You guys ready to see Infinite as a plushie? I'm going to hell. I'm going to the 7th hell. I'm starting to urge to joke about 7.0 being about Maricidia. Oh, yeah. Who would ever think that 7.0 was going to be about Maricidia? Only a fool would do that. I watch a decent amount, and I think it really depends on the type of content being done. Okay, Relish. What like, in your experience, is it like, depends on the content the streamer's running, or depending on the streamer, like, some games the same streamer will talk more or less? Because I feel like every time I hop in on any 14 streamer, they talk very little unless they're reading, like, MSQ dialogue. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a very weird experience. Archons plushie, collect them all, yeah. Holly, good to have you. I always am missing your streams. Always not getting your updates for your videos. It's upsetting. Oh, that sucks, Holly. One of the Holly? One of the easy ways to fix for that would probably be if you join the Discord. We announce every time we're starting a Discord, usually 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. That would be the easiest way to fix that. Our Discord is discord.gg/Eorzean Archives. Obviously, you can join just for those announcements. Also, we do obviously talk about lore and all sorts of stuff in there, and we run events for 14 most days of the weeks. So we have like Lore Book Club on Fridays. We have maps farming on Thursdays. We've got mount farming of Endwalker and earlier on Wednesdays. We've got mount farming on Dawntrail and later on Saturdays. Yeah. We might have a new Fate farming event going on Sundays. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Ooh. Settlements surrounded by paddies and the reeds grown here have been our livelihood for generations. The crop many different use. Not only are the reeds edible, but Eorzeans use them all manners of crafts. I really recommend the dolls they make with reed offcuts. They're especially popular with young Hanu. I suppose some of our guests won't be interested in toys. You could try preparing another tidbit for anyone uninterested in dolls. Thank you. There are plenty of keepsakes I could recommend you. If you wish to make a purchase, please head to the northern side of the Aetheryte Plaza. There are plenty of stalls to browse, so I'm sure you'll find something that suits your taste. And for the anglers, there's no shortage of fishing supplies. Thank you for listening. Okay, whoever worked on this really... I know, like, always, for some reason, the Japanese... Well, I say for some reason, it's an island nation. So much fishing in JRPGs, but lordy. I only watch a couple of streamers here and there. Ironically, my other favorite streamer duo is also on Curl. Oh, that's cute. Why are Lalafels like no palms for Xenoblades? Yeah. Speaking of Popoto plushie, there is an official Shitoto plushie. Oh, there you go. It's more like if you're doing hardcore content, there's less talking but grinding. I find a lot more casually. That, I mean, yeah, if you're grinding anything that's like of Savage or higher, I can understand more focused up. I guess it's just like, even when I see people like farming maps, like they're like weirdly quiet and I'm like, just maps. You know, you gotta keep it lively. That sounds fine. I'm also a Final Fantasy IV player. Nice. Well, if you're on, also friendly reminder, if any of you are on Crystal Curl, you're welcome to join our FC. And if you want to have people to play with 14, you can have, our Discord's an easy way to play with me or other players. We have a looking for group function. Yeah. Glad you could join us. Miscues all over the place with how much people talk. Yeah, definitely relish. That I guess maybe that's the thing is I keep running into like people at weird times, maybe when they're just like halfway into the stream and also things have just chilled out a bit. Seeing Shantoto, I never realized the attack of the 50-foot Lalafell was a real thing. Yeah, that was an actual event from early 2.0. Yeah, really early 2.0. Definitely before Heaven's Word, I think. Morning, nice day for fishing, ain't it? Yeah. Fishing is an integral part of the genre, like a leveling system. What was it? There's a quote from Yoko Taro that's like something to the effect of, "It's not if there isn't fishing, it's not a JRPG." Let me see if I can find that quote. Here, I need to also turn that off for now. Okay, it was on Twitter. This was like 8 years ago. It's someone on Twitter just @ Yoko Taro saying, Yoko Taro, why you put fishing minigame in your games? And Yoko Taro just responds, JRPG needs fishing. Definitely join. Also, people might not responding. If they're on PlayStation, it's kind of hard to type and play at the same time. Yeah, no worries. Hey, to anybody here who's listening in who is not able to type, whether because A, you're shy, B, you're playing on PlayStation, or any reason, what have you, hi, I appreciate you. You matter. Thanks for joining in. I've already done all these quests and I've read them and taken notes. That's why I'm skipping over it. Actually, I don't think I've done this one. Especially with Fiend's native Kozumaoka. Thanks to the power sent, Fiend encounter are down and customer satisfaction is up. It's also alleviates some of the burden of place arms. Yeah, not really anything interesting. There was one quest that, like, one of the quests had actually, like, some really juicy lore. I think I have it written down. Yeah, it was under my Hanu notes. Back when the giants still ruled Kozumaoka, Hanu who refused to submit to their tyranny were put to death and dismembered. Their mutilated bodies were thrown into the river, and from there flowed piecemeal over the separate waterfalls. Although the falls are a beautiful sight to behold, they also remind we Hanu of the sacrifices made by those before us. They're talking about these waterfalls right here. Man, I love it when 14 gets dark. I definitely like doing maps and fake writing. Well, awesome. I'll definitely have to let Deirdre know that there are people interested in the event she wants to run. Sorry, give me one quick second. Okie doke, just sending a message. Also, low-key explained how Shintoto managed to show up in other games. Yeah. I'll often play other games while listening in the background or listening to Lore Book Club. Yeah, I think probably a lot of people do similarly, Des. I definitely can imagine what we do here being relatively good second monitor content, the only problem being the amount to which I try to get people to engage. But look, I will say I have no problem being second monitor content. I think. Oh, okay. See, this is the one. This is the Ochu. I mean, it's an Uots here, but it's literally just like the Ochu and Kilga. Like, Ochu. See. Oh, thank you, Cafe. Imagine a fishing system is easy to program and helps break up the monotony in JRPGs. It's like a real reason. I wouldn't. With the depths of some of the fishing systems, I wouldn't assume on the face of it that they're necessarily easy to program, but I don't know, so I shouldn't talk out of my ass. I'll definitely join the Discord as soon as I'm done with the main scenarios. Scenario non-skip held. Yeah. Also, just so you know, Holly, we don't do spoilers in the Discord. We have specific channels for it, so you can join Win without having finished the MSQ. Just letting you know. We need a game like Smash Bros. Or Dissidia, but it's just a fishing game featuring pro tags from JRPGs with doing fishing content. That'd be great. A lot of us have the Ojo Sama laugh. The Shantoto has an emo. Someone mentioned recently, we were just talking about this, maybe in book club, about how the like laugh that Shantoto has is kind of in the game, but not really. But that would be a great emo. I also think the fishing minigames or deep sea fishing in particular is fun if you do it at a party. Yeah. Oh, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I have fallen in love in fishing in 14 in a way that, like, I don't typically enjoy fishing games. I don't enjoy them I don't like I guess here's the thing. I don't like mini games in my single player games because I want my mainline game to be about the narrative. Now, if your mini game is like a fundamental part of going through the story, that's fine. But like, I don't really enjoy side content that much in my single player games because I want a tight narrative experience for the most part. But here's how much I enjoy fishing in this game. What is it? That's not it. Here's how much fishing I do in this game. I probably have like 60 or 70% of the fish, I think. I don't have any of the Dawntrail fish. I need to start working on them. But I have literally every, other than one, I have every single, or no, I guess two, spearfish. You can also meet a lot of fun and cool people on ocean fishing. I actually weirdly get recognized way more on ocean fishing than anywhere else. People have always had really kind things to say, which I've really appreciated. I will say, I'm gonna say this right now for anybody who is watching this or in the future or past, please say hi if you see me. Like, there's nothing more, I don't say validating, but it's really lovely to like feel like in doing this, you know, meeting new people and people who we might not have partied together, or we might not have doing something otherwise is really lovely to me. So I will always reiterate that. And I'm pretty sure almost everyone here who most of the people here know me on the reg, who have now known me for, you know, some of you for probably at least 2 years, right? Know that I'm very, very nice. The only time I'm not, I wouldn't say that I'm not nice, but I am very serious when I'm doing hard content, but I am not mean. I am just serious. I am just direct, and I'm just like, okay, cool. You struggle with this. How do we solve it? What do you need help with? Okay, cool. Let's have like blah, 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 blah. I'm very like kind of matter of fact, but I'm very, very positive. No, I see. That's a female black mage victory. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was the black mage victory pose. That's what it was. Whoa! Lala fell from the sky. Upload a couple screenshots from the cutscene from the 50-foot mage, even also screenshot I took of the fate. It's in the screenshots. Ooh, nice. Perfect. Thank you, Tam. Tam? I don't know if it was you, but does anyone here have a 1.0 account? Because if so, I need new footage of, since the graphics update of the intro videos. If you want an RPG that's just fishing aspect, may I suggest the River King series by Natsume? Oh, why can't Fisher use explosives? Blast fishing comes at a form of fishing, right? Because it doesn't require, not dexterity, what's the word? Deftness. It's not, you know, you're just lobbing dynamite into the river. Here's how much I enjoy fishing in this game. Fishing log in the zone is entirely undiscovered fishing hole. Also, I'm on primal, so I don't really run into you off stream at all. Yeah. But yes, I don't have any fishing done in Dawntrail at all because I've been on my last fishing bend was a little bit ago, but when I go on benders quite a bit. Staring to my friend as one point. Yes, it's your friend, I think. If there's any chance I might happen to be able to like get an updated 60 FPS for 4K version of it, I would appreciate that. Maybe using stuff to make the character look like the 1.0 character, I would really appreciate that. But you're not mean, but you mean business. Yeah, I mean business, but I'm also like very encouraging, right? I would say maybe not everybody feels it just because the meaning business can be intimidating on its own. But my deepest desire is to want to help you guys improve and to like answer any questions, to solve where you at. I don't have a lot of tolerance for people struggling but not asking questions or trying to change up in order to improve. So like, it's not a problem if you're struggling. To me, it's a problem if you're struggling but you're unwilling to ask for what you need to improve, whether that's more call-outs, patience, explanations, walking through it. Like, it doesn't, I just need people to be proactive on wanting to improve. That's all. But I've taught a bunch of you guys a bunch of EXs. What map do I want to do? I'm enjoying talking to you guys, but in order to talk to you guys, I would have to. Let's go ass backwards. Well, yeah, let's start. Let's see if I have any quests left in living memory. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna do living memory now because I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do. Let's do Heritage Found because there's not a bunch here. Been watching your lore videos for a couple years now. Oh, that's really kind, Holly. I only started playing back at the end of Shadowbringers, so I don't have an account like that. Yeah, no worries. I mean, but also, yeah, if you've been playing Shadowbringers, you've been playing longer than some of our regulars. Like Althea, you started at the end of start of Endwalker, right? I'm on Aether. People only come here for hardcore raiding. Yeah, Voltaire. Oh wait, you're a pretty cool dude that wants us to excel. Yes, I more than anything like. For whatever it's worth, or for whatever people think of it, some of my proudest moments in life are having seen some of you guys succeed in things that you genuinely didn't think you could do before. I have helped people who genuinely were terrified of tanking become confident tanks who have cleared a savage. I have just a number of things, and I'm very proud of that. Saw a Reddit post just now comparing the Moogle designs of 16 and 7 Rebirth. I haven't played Rebirth yet, but first reply, nobody show him the Moogle from Tactics in 12. Yeah. Yep, started during Q Walker, yeah. Bit of a random question, but what job would you say Alucard is most like from Castlevania? Red Mage? Yeah, Red Mage. Between the sword, the cape, the juxtaposition of not melee, of martial ability and spellcasting ability. Yeah, Red Mage. Hey, no question, hands down. Yeah. I think you can make an argument for Black, for Dark Knight, or not Dark Knight, Reaper. Oh, this is actually, that's a quest line. Let's do a different one. Okay, we're at 99 on Reaper. Yeah, Dancer. Which would I want to play? Well, I'm going to level all of them just for this XP. Well, that ain't Her Majesty's special guest. Did our Electro catch your eyes? Machine run here on Electro, so the capacitor serves as a battery, storing the lightning energy as it rolls in from all the pylons we erected. So for context, you can see all the lightning towers. The machines here run on Electro, so the capacitor serves as a battery, storing the lightning energy as it rolls in from the pylons. If you're interested, I'd be happy to show you around and tell you more about our systems. Let's do it, boy. Yeah, lore! Lore! A man after my own heart. Piqued your curiosity, eh? First, let's head downstairs to see the power converter. What a time to start. Yeah. Well, you know, really coming in at late Shadowbringers. Coming in at late Shadowbringers or early Endwalker was a phenomenal time to start. What we're seeing a little bit right now is that the people who started at that time are now experiencing what a lot of the longer term players are, in terms of Dawntrail being the first time that a lot of them are fully caught up, completed most of their first order goals. So the one downside of having started in that wave, I feel, is that a lot of people are now collectively experiencing a sort of malaise that a lot of people are experiencing at once, instead of the usual kind of undulations. So, not to take away from that feeling or that feeling, that frustration, but I do think it's part of it. Funny enough, I wouldn't have done half the higher content if it wasn't for book club. Wait, book club? Really? It was Lord Book Club that got you interested. Gotta explain that, Voltaire. I'm fascinated. We don't talk about love. Oh, also, Infinite, do you have time, or are you gonna be being around for a little bit, or do you need to head out? I know 5's your out time. That's our food storage facility. By converting light and energy to ice, we've created a refrigeration system that can prevent spoilage. I wonder what the etheric loss is for reattuning an element from one to another. I mean, we've always known that was possible, like for instance, the corrupted crystals being reattuned and used for purpose and effect. But like, what is the ratio of energy loss? Presumably, it's not like if ethereal alignment costs no energy to realign, then it would just be pure aether, right? I'm a little longer saying. Okay, cool. I'd call Maria Renard a summoner equivalent, except she can summon the Four Lords. I started playing Final Fantasy XIV after watching a YouTuber called Final Fantasy Peasant, which was also a lore type channel. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've seen that channel. Vampire strikes me more as a Reaper than anything else. And red mages have a whole partially white mage thing going on them, which I presume is the literal kryptonite to vampires. No, but with Alucard, that's perfect, Danny. So the thing is, Alucard's not just a normal vampire, though. He's a child of both worlds. And so that's even more why like black mage, black mage, white mage as one is super Alucard. For Dracula, no, yeah, I wouldn't say red mage. Alucard, yeah. If anything, what you just said makes me think Alucard's more fitting for red mage. Came late in Shadowbringers, but didn't really start playing in full with sub till early Endwalker. Yeah. Only we had a little vampire red mage in Final Fantasy XIV. Alucard isn't full vampire the way he's like Zero, even as shield. Yeah, he's similar to Zero. wanting to be a bad player at something is never bad. Yeah, wanting to be better is never a bad thing. Yeah. That's our food storage. By converting light and energy to ice, we've crafted a refrigeration system that can prevent spoilage. Like compressing an image. Oh, come on. Am I overheating? No, I'm not overheating. Oh, right. You're talking about literally. He is a vampire. You're not wrong. I've got his name. I've got his name. I've got his name. I've got his name. I'm not looking at chat. Also, what the fuck is going on? I'm not looking at chat. It starts with C. It's the boss in Weeping City. His name is kind of like it. Okay. 2002. What the hell was that? Okie dokie. Critchlow. No. Ah, I know it. What's going on? Has anybody else had a lot of issues with 14 lately? Yeah, it's definitely on my end. I've had this sort of thing been happening a lot lately, but I don't know why. Please stop sending. We have 5 hours. Oh, right. I forgot we have maintenance tonight. Ah! This is frustrating me because I literally... Wait, no. Why am I know his name. Me and Neri used to talk about him all the time. Calawise. And Califisteri is the boss name. I just remembered, because I remembered Calawise. Thank you, Cafe. Yeah, Calawise is literally a straight-up vampire. You're not wrong. But also, Infinite, you're our little red mage vampire. If you can turn corrupted crystals into explosives, it would mean mining potential, also blasting fishing. AC, you're really on this, aren't you? Which is more still accessible though, Electro refrigerator or cerulean refrigerator? Electro. Not even a question. One, like cerulean refrigerator, you would require you need to use ceruleum in order to heat steam. Like there's more intermediary. Well, I shouldn't say there's more intermediaries because you would still need, but like. Yeah, I would definitely say Electro refrigerators more. Well, you need to find accessible because technically speaking, ceruleum, you would need access to ceruleum, but the actual fundamental underlying technology could be anywhere. Whereas, like, you need, well, I guess you need Electro in the same way you need ceruleum. Well, one's an energy and one's a material, but. After light and energy is absorbed in the Electro capacitor, it's transmitted to this power converter. Its function is to stabilize and distribute appropriate levels of energy to each household facility. Let me read that again. After lighting energy is absorbed into the Electro capacitor, it's transmitted to this power converter. Its function is to stabilize and distribute appropriate levels of energy to each head. Well, okay, so this is just like real world. You look lost. Are you more of a visual learner? Let's play a visit to the partitioned water tank on the north side of town. Or you could just use ice aspect and Aether. Yeah. I don't know why, Danny, but I love that. Like, we're all like, well, you could use Electro to blah, 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 blah. You're like, or you could just use an ice crystal. I'm definitely not by. If I have any issues with it, I need to play it, but I currently literally don't have anything to do right now, except maybe EU map runs. I'm definitely not biased. What is more cost effective, electric refrigerator or diesel fuel refrigerator? Yeah, applies. Yeah, exactly. Same principle. Depends on if you have what you have access to, right? Hopefully by that time. Oh yeah, Voltaire. I hope you can make an ult so you can play with us on Curl more. That's a food storage facility. By converting light and energy to ice, we've created a refrigeration system that can prevent spoilage. Also, a friendly reminder that we do have a small fund for transferring to Curl if people want to join the FC. It's a godsend, I tell you. These parts get a lot of rain and humidity, so if we didn't have refrigeration, we'd have a mass mold problem on our hands. To be fair, in his defense, they effectively are converting. They are creating ice crystals, but they're effectively just converting the lightning energy into ice because they have an abundance of lightning and nothing else. Oh, interesting. Thank you, V. I'll try that out. Right, so after light and energy is allocated to the residential grid, it's utilized in a variety of ways, one of which is that tank there. Normally, it's a receptacle for filtering rainwater. By using the Electro to convert the light and energy to fire, however, we can have hot water readily available at any time. Amazing, isn't it? Lastly, let's go and have a look at the control tower just up the stairs. Using aspect of crystals for utility is a weirdly unexplored area for being basically a cornerstone of the setting. Well, it is addressed, like, it shows up in, like, some of the crafting quests early on in A Realm Reborn. And, like, it's in EE1 and stuff. I think it's just, like, and it is in some quests. Like, it does show up. It's just almost exclusively in A Realm Reborn. Well, not exclusively. It's a lot more in A Realm Reborn. And so it's, like, one of those things where... Yeah, well, I get your point, though. Even though, yes, it shows up, the degree to which it probably would be used and the degree to which we don't see it be used is interesting. Also, as an electrical engineer, Electro would have been an absolute godsend if it was real. Oh, man. I mean, it's not... I was going to analogize it to solar, but that's not really accurate. Because if you had an abundance of electrical... energy like you do the sun, then it would be. But it's basically the ability to convert effectively 100% of electrical energy absorbed into other useful energy-based effects, be it those elements, would be amazing. You don't need to be a certified specialist to see that, yeah. Also, literally, the central conflict in 16 revolves around using crystals as an energy source that's slowly depleting, yeah. Well, technically, to be precise, that's really actually more of a macro issue that's part of an underlying problem. I won't say because of spoilers, but yes, you are correct. That is the inciting, well, a inciting problem. Resource wars! These panels enable us to freely adjust each of the public utilities individually. The utility manager monitors the operational status of each facility, keeping an eye out for any problems. Not a glamorous job, but it's important work. Well, I think that about covers it. Let's loop back around to the electrocapacitor, shall we? Man, I'm so glad they're doing this. I'm really thankful for a lot of the flavor quests that they do. I wish we got more practical quests that answered lore-based questions. Like what we're doing right now, I wish there were more quests like that. I wish Solution 9 was full to the brim with them. James Garleans can't use Electro for magic. And probably for the best there. Waiting to see something like General Electric come up in FF14. We make refrigerators, washing machines, and GUAU, a Avenger 30 million Gatling cannon for the A10 Warhog. I mean, kind of the Ironworks. I mean, the Ironworks is more, what's the term? Benevolent than that, but. So how'd I do? Hopefully if I've answered all your most burning questions. Believe it or not, I'm not actually an engineer. Just an apprentice. I was inspecting the capacitor when you arrived. Thanks for letting me ramble, though. A great opportunity to brush up on my studies. Honestly, I love that the answer is just the system's the same as the real world. I mean, yes, we can't convert energy in that way, but effectively, it's just like Transformers and stepping up electricity, and like it's very similar to effectively how the real world works. Careful, you. If you complained about it too much, they'll return the note system from Occult Cross. Oh god, no, no! I swear to God, if they put notes back in, I'm gonna be so mad. If there's no pity. If there is a pity, it's gonna be fine. I'll be less mad if only because we're gonna be spending a bunch of time playing it on patch, which will make it a lot easier to get them all. But that still doesn't solve the problem for other people coming later. Maybe the coffee from the device. Yeah. One Reflection just puts Nutkin on wheels. She's a Chitona, but she's not from South, so she should probably have a Southern accent if Kefki was anything to go by.
Hey, I know you. You toured the farms with Her Majesty, right? How about something a little more hands-on? I've been assigned the role of cleaner, and one of my duties is the periodic application of insecticide. Here, I've marked a few areas in need of treatment on your map. Take this extra strength debugifier and give them a good liberal coating. Let me know when you're done, okay?
Infinite's starting to become the embodiment of the monkey's paw. Yeah. Someone's got to keep me in check. Oh, also, hey, Ray needs help with footage for the near raids. So we're gonna need at least at minimum 9 people, because we're gonna need 3 for each party. But we definitely probably want up to like 12 or higher to run through the near raids unsynced to try and get her some footage. So if you have interest in doing that, we'll set up an event sometime soon. But we definitely could use. I mean, it'd be awesome if we had 24, but I'm not expecting to get 24. But I definitely, if we could get between 12 and 18, I would really appreciate it. Wait, I've been playing a Reaper this whole time. Oh, of course. Of course. The one time I use Hell's Ingress, I frickin' do it into the stairs. Wait, I have a flying motorcycle. Why am I walking? But more importantly, I have the best mount in the game. My boy. Oh, hey, yo, you guys want to see the new emote work in progress? Raven is working on it. This is not the finalized version, but it'll look something like this. I need a freaking haircut. But which one?
I'm not sure what you're doing here, but I certainly wouldn't look a grift Ronique in the mouth. Could you go and fetch me a vegetable? Or I should probably explain. I'm trying to plan on making my dinner tonight. If you like me, I just can't decide what to make. It won't be much trouble, I promise you. Go to Yuyope's Halo and speak to Shipping Mayne. He's bound to have a few seasonal offerings. Born from a simple desire to heap waste for loved ones, one innocent idea has been warped beyond recognition after a decade upon decade of reiteration, left too long on creation's stove.
The water of wisdom boiled down to nothing, giving rise to the metallic monstrosity of steaming, searing destruction. And that's the quest line, so we're gonna wait to do that. Can somebody send me a link to the Discord channel? Yes. Infinite, can you go ahead and post the links and do all that? Thank you. Ironically, I'm doing Copied Factory and Alliance with it right now. Yeah, well, honestly, the problem being obviously that Ray's tried to do Copied Factory with just normal Alliance relays, but trying to actually get shots becomes really hard when people all just like stack in one place or cover up the boss or, you know. Welcome back. Thank you for handling that, by the way. It'll be some time before we need to worry about any Uglup sightings. Wait, did you just say Uglup? Oh, wait, right, Uglups. They established that before that there were Uglups. As cleaner, we're responsible for sanitation, waste disposal, recycling, even land maintenance, all in the name of keeping our homes free of bacteria. Uglups are from FF9. And unlike the entirely artificial Everkeep, we got a lot of bugs here in the outskirts. And trust me, they'll move right in if we let them. Uglups in particular are the worst offenders. They spread disease through the germs they carry, so their extermination is non-negotiable. Problem is, they're genetically predisposed to withstand even the harshest of environments, which makes them tough to kill. Personally, I find them cute, but as cleaners, we have a job to do. We'll never be able to eradicate them completely on account of their propensity to breed, but thanks to your hard work, we have a few more moons before we need to worry about them again. Here, for a job well done. How's Wedge Kettle become a war machine? What about Deadwalk, Tea Kettle, and Cups? So hear me out. We take some magic rocks, then we use it to heat some water, then the steam turns a turbine that generates power. But I can't think of any real-world equivalent to this. I'm so jealous. Jealous of what? Okay, awesome. Welcome, Holly. Join our YouTube channel for the low price of not much money a month. You get a custom emoji, special badges, and the warm fuzzy feeling of supporting your favorite archivist. You can also support us at our Patreon at patreon.com/Eorzean Archives. The main rewards that you get currently are your name in the banner above my head, as well as a color name change over on the Discord. I need to actually update the Patreon, as it wasn't updated since I have been since my health problems. Magic Conch scenario. I have something. Yeah. You got some vegetables, sir? Aren't you the guest who was touring the farm with Queen's Fiend? Is this something I can assist you with? I'm looking for some vegetables. Oh, so Pequena sent you to get produce. I'll certainly find no shortage of that here. The time of year we have glass jam corn, Tural pumpkins, and sweet potatoes. Take your pick. What the hell is glass gem corn? Plump kernels of corn peek out from within the dried husks. Corn is a highly versatile vegetable, and I'll bag it up for you here. Where'd you go? Soulless Nightblood. Awesome. Well, I'm sure we'll team up at some point in one of the events, and I'll make sure to add you. I tend to keep people on my friends list so that I can see them. Names glow in orange and all that. I'm sort of calling this glossy like glass. I mean, I guess, yeah, if each kernel was like a gem. I mean, if it looked anything like Najul, right, then it would kind of be, that'd be pretty cool. Rough place for a stroll, ain't it? I'm impressed you made it out this far. Only my trainee have the same grit. The plan was to go on a hunt together, but I hadn't seen hide nor hair of her all day. I reckon Latin's got her scared stiff. We're supposed to meet here, so I'd rather not step away. I can help it. Could you swing through the outskirts and look for a fresh-faced hunter quaking in her boots? Praise the corn servant!
Praise the corn servant, for I shall make your bellies warm and full of food.
Aether and World Cactar. Hey, Cactar, good choice. There are 3 worlds of glory. They are Cactar, Goblin, and Kerr. And there's 1 world of nightmares, and that's Balmung. Oh, the Balmung mains are gonna be mad at me. And they're scary. They're almost as bad as Duskwight players. Corn servant? Tulio Lal. So if you go to Tulio Lal, it should be somewhere around here in Bayside Bevy.
Can I help you?
Yeah, are you the hunter apprentice?
My mentor asked you to come find me. Oh no. Well, I'm not proud to admit it, but that lightning is making me weak in the knees, and not in a good way. Rather embarrassing having only just met, but it always helps settle my nerves when other hunters would cheer me on. Might I ask you to do the same?
Just do it!
Thanks. That helps a little. I think I'm feeling brave enough to finally set foot out there. But if you should notice me starting to lose my nerve, I hope you'll think to cheer me on again.
Casual Duskwhite bullying. There is only one type of Duskwhite bullying, and that is casual Duskwhite bullying. I never knew the corn servant was.
If I'm doing gobbies, this is how I talk, okay? So there's gobby, this is gobby. However, if I am doing corn servants, he talks like this. It is a distinction to some extent, for I shall fill your warm bellies.
But yeah, it's pretty much the same. Belmont never will see a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Though maybe I should remove the first letter of the formula. Oh, Des. I want a corn. Post a picture of glass gem corn and screenshot. Oh! Oh! I grew up with this. I didn't realize that it was called glass. I had no idea it was called glass gem corn. Here, I'm pulling it up for you guys to see. I grew up with like all sorts of stuff like this nearby. Particularly like this guy. That is gorgeous. Like, I love this guy. And honestly, this guy does look like Najul. It's like the same color as Najul.
Nope, can't do it, just can't.
You can do it!
Thanks. Looks like I can. Can I ask you something? How are you not terrified of the pylons? I know they function as relay points for the energy gathered out here, but they quite literally attract lightning. Every strike is like an explosion rattling me to the bone. I hate it. Still, it's not much safer standing around here, so might as well keep going. But stop again. I need you to really sock me up, okay?
Thank you, Aldan. What would be a good title for the Warrior of Light in this realm? Dawnsworn? Maybe something like Dawn's Aegis. Ma'am, I forgot a lightning. I fought a lightning god. Twice. Yeah. That's some corners remind me of glass beads, yeah. We are the Dawntrail. John Dawntrail. Yeah, just like Dave Bloodborne. I wasn't expecting competitive Duskwhite play. Okay, that could be fun. Admittedly, that could be fun.
I can't take this anymore. I want to go home.
Now is the time! Here is the place! Lightning cannot hurt you!
I know it may not seem like it, but your moral support is a tremendous help right now, sir. I'm so close to the rendezvous point, but the roar of lightning really isn't helping my nerves. Maybe I'll pretend it's an asteroidia. Yeah, just a big bloodthirsty asteroidia.
I love that it's like giant. Yes, thinking lightning's a giant creature makes it easier. Also, that reminds me of some of the people I've helped learn tanking. They just needed someone to believe in them. We survived Remuiac, so it's a little lightning strike to us. A little electro-shock therapy won't hurt us. Last words of a person killed by lightning, says the engineer.
My trainee hero
told me the whole story, yet lit a
proper fire in her belly, eh? To her credit, she did well on the hunter's exam, and I reckon she's got promise. Not like she's the only one who's nervous about the Latin anyhow. Besides, your words of encouragement seem to have struck a chord with her, so I have faith she'll overcome it in time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some monsters to hunt. Take care. Ba, 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 ba. I wish there was just a little something in there that was I don't know, something to lore to bite on in some way, shape, or form. I don't know, something about the practices of hunter trainees, something about the lightning pylons, just a little something, you know? It's a cute little story, but there's not much else to it. It's just I want a factoid. Give me a factoid! One factoid per quest is not an unreasonable ask. Lightning from nature AC may not be the same as lightning from a thick-thighed lady. Words I never thought I'd say. Welcome back. Did you pick out something tasty? Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll bake up some hearty cornbread and serve it with butter. It's a traditional Yasalani dish that's been passed down for generations. Even now it's fairly popular. Made with our freshly grown vegetables, I feel closer to nature with every bite. Something you won't experience with the food produced in Everkeep. Anyway, thanks for humoring me. Take this. You don't mind ready-made, do you? Oh, that's cool. Oh, no, okay, damn it. I was hoping that she was gonna make food she was gonna make would be based on whatever you gave her. Oh, this is interesting. It's interesting that the casualness with the data pads out there. Unless we're talking about 15 or 16 remove, would still be a fraction, yeah. Electro prototype city of tomorrow, yeah. Imagining thunder as a creature might be better. That you can't outrun. That you can't outrun. Lightning you can't. Yeah, no. I was just being facetious. Her imagining that makes absolute sense as a way to process and deal with it. Never thought about that before, but yes, I'm realizing now that she has literal thunder thighs. Thick thighs and lives. Hey, you're the one who looking for Zoraal Ja. Would you say that you're good at finding things, generally speaking? In that case, you might do well as a reforger. Our job is to hunt for things that can be repurposed. Care to give it a try? Take a look around you in ruins of the settlement. Okay, before I go further, it's a reforger. I want to write that down. I'll just copy paste what you said. No more once upon a time. If thick thighs end my life, I die happy. Her lightning cannon is bigger than yours. Don't you feel bad? Nah, we still won. Okay, this is gonna sound like a really stupid frustration, but this is the American expansion, like the Americas. I mean, it's not literally supposed to be Americas. It's an interpretation of the Americas, but... And Everkeep and Alexandria are English. And so, like, the only, like, North American map we actually get is Shaloni. You dig through the amount of debris, but find only shapeless planks of wood and non-functional electro. And that annoys me. Particularly, I mean, at least they didn't... Dude, I would be so annoyed if they had just been like, and we're doing the 2 coasts. And I'd be like, fuck you. Fuck everyone who uses the term flyover country. All of you go fuck yourselves. So at least there's that. But can we please go to the Midwest and the Great Lakes? I beseech you. The classic thing of Final Fantasy players being constantly hungry and thirsty in more ways than... Speaking of Ramu, the voice actor of his dominant in 16. Yeah. I just was saying his name all up and down last night. I was just watching multiple films he was in. And also, he's in Nosferatu too as well. Also Dagmar Cleftjaw in the Game of Thrones and as Caro in the series of... I don't know who Amos Caro is. But yeah, he's... not Ralph Ineson, right? No, Ralph Ineson. I was right. Okay, cool. Yeah, Ralph Ineson. He's what a fucking great voice. He's in The Witch and Nosferatu. Is he in any of other Eggers films? I don't think so, because he's not in The Lighthouse, and I don't think he's in Northman. The British are staying. Alexander's be like, nothing personal, kid. Just steals your North America. Yeah. The real colonialism. How does it feel, huh? How does it feel, America, when you get colonized? Oof, that was a low blow. Yeah. Examine the broken street lamp, but it's already been harvested for parts. Evidently, someone has beaten you to the punch. I think Liln might be right. It's just these. It's the pools where the lightning accrues is really interesting. If you watch, you'll notice that lightning emits first from here. It's funny. I also wonder if these are not supposed to be evocative of geysers, seeing as we're kind of up in Wyoming country. It's interesting that these geysers exist in the same location that Electro is found, right? That's like that's probably not an accident. The only thing I can't understand is why in any way lightning energy would form as electrope rather than electric crystals. Why is electrope? Why is it only on the 9th? Although you partially comb through the enshadowed wreckage, a gleam catches your eye, and you pull up a silver necklace. Ooh, a silver necklace. I also so this is a detail I really love. Over here is a place called the Name Slates that's a graveyard that most people, like, one of the guys from Everkeep understands what it is, and is like, no, I want to remember what this is important. Wait, is that the yeah, that is the S rank, or the A rank. I can definitely solo it on my non-level 100 job. So but I love the names because like most people are like, what's the point? What's the purpose of that? George's case blog. I love that despite Electro presumably being a finite resource, they still use it in full because they have a huge recycling infrastructure. So even Electro and coffee cups thrown away returns. Yeah. Well, also, I mean, I don't. Again, I've pointed out this a bunch of times, but I'll just further remind people about this. This is where they're mining Electro from, deposits from. And this seems to have come with Alexandria. This does not seem to have been present in the Earth before the interdimensional fusion. If I remember correctly, all trash containers in Solution 9 have a recycle logo. Oh, that's cool. Oh, hello there. You're an adventurer, right? Can I interest you in a job? You're supposed to send out a shipment of Electro today, but the courier in charge appears to be taking her sweet time. If our shipment falls behind schedule, it'll bring Everkeep's factories to a screeching halt. I have to stay and handle Everkeep. Screeching halt. I have to say I have to stay and handle things here, so could you go and tell the courier she has a job to do, please? Give her her obsession with technology. Like it's not, you'll find her wherever the clear view of a bucket elevator. She may not hear you approach, so give her a poke if you need to. There's also raw. Yes, raw electro grows in UA Iwata. Yeah.
Ah, what a beauty.
Miss?
Can I help you?
You're needed back at the site.
Oh, you're here about the delivery. Oh gods, the delivery! It was so enraptured in watching the elevator that I must have lost track of time again. I admit I never get sick of seeing it in action. The hover cargo we use is great and all, but I mean, can't possibly compare to the sheer scale of... No, I can't start rambling now. Sorry, but I better get back to work. No, tell me more about the elevator! Why, Koji? Why does this game lore block me? Why do you start to point out the thing, make me ask questions and provide no answers? Ah!
Thanks for the assistance. Much as I can appreciate a fellow enthusiast of our technology, I can't allow it to impact our work. The electrope we excavate here is a lifeline for Everkeep. I do mean that quite literally. This precious resource is used to create all manner of things, from daily necessities to heavy machinery. So you can imagine how a single hitch in the supply chain risks a ripple effect of chaos. At any rate, here's a little something for your trouble. Eleovate. I have nothing to do. Which means very finite if it's only in the dome area, so hear me out. Get some Lalafels, use the energy drink, and put them on the giant hamster. The problem isn't the energy, the problem is the material. There's plenty of electricity. The elemental prime shards have elementally aligned material appear, but we never see it due to other shards being rejoined. I mean, yeah, that's definitely possible. I think that the distinct fact that the rising Levant energy seems to be a fundamental part of it, I think, is very clear, based on the fact that it was only found a couple hundred years into the rising Levant energies existing. I think that has to be the case. Well, the other possibility is that Electrope actually is found on all other reflections, but because people didn't understand how to use it for the electrical circuitries, and there wasn't enough ambient lightning energy to even realize its effect, it may not have been used in the same case, but...
Ah, excellent. Just what I need. Someone who... Oh, wait.
Oh, you're an Eorzean.
Ah, excellent. Just what I need. Someone who looks like they know how to kill things. On your way here, did you happen to notice the dense pocket of lightning energy scattered around? These areas are tendency to attract swarms of monsters. Normally we have a hunt to clear them out, but given that they're short-handed, I should like to hire you for the task instead. Dense pocket of lightning energy scattered around. These have a tendency to attract swarms of monsters. Lightning geysers attract creatures. That's interesting. Most infested areas are in the northwest and south. Oh, and a word of warning. Try not to fall in. The tingle is most unpleasant. Do you think the electric light blocks are from another reflection, just ended up on their reflection, and that's why it's a limited resource? So, if you mean the electric light, are you referring to Electro, Polly?
if you're referring to Electro, the impression that is given to us is that when the ninth and source suffered from interdimensional fusion, dimensional compression, the Electrope came from the ninth to here on the source. A big part of that is that it is never noticed, referenced, or found anywhere else, and the two places that exist that it is found are places under the bounds of the interdimensional fusion. In specific, here in the Crackling Chasm and in the Uweyuwada field station. We also have light infused material. It's just said that said material is useless inert dust. Yeah. Well, it's so highly umbral, right? Well, that's the thing too, is that like the only examples we have of places flooded with energies are astral and umbral. Astral in the 13th and umbral in the 1st, and those are polarities, not elemental alignment. So the 9th is the first time we've seen an elemental alignment flood actually spread out across a reflection in a long-standing form, right? Because on the source, you experience the rise in certain elemental energies for brief periods in the umbral calamities, but you don't have hundreds and hundreds of years of rising elemental energies to that extent. Where's second wind? Did I take my second wind off? Don't take your second wind off your bar, people. Also, I should actually probably be trying to actually fight. It's been a while since I played Reaper. I wasn't even thinking. Nah, thanks. And thanks in particular to Sphene, we also saw wind, earth, and ice aligned shards. Well, we don't exactly know what they were, but yes, it seems to be reflections that were either affected by that, which would imply that the remaining 4th, 8th, and 11th all had suffered elemental rises in elemental energy as well, or they could be remnants of places already rejoined. It's not clear. I think the former is far more likely than the latter. Milkshake, let's kick some ass. I know how I'm playing this right now is probably killing some people on the inside. But I am just trying to get through it. Don't forget to milkshake. Yep. Same thinking. Oh, I love you so. Look at him. Look at those. You cleared them out, I take it. Fantastic work. See that there beyond the western shore? The menacing purple glow of the upturned city. We have Storm Surge to thank for that. They say wartime weapon created the gargantuan font of light. Oh, so we're right! So our theory is right. The theory I've had that was created. Okay. Fountain of lightning. Where such energy gathers, so too does monsters tenfold. See, this is interesting. They say wartime weapon created the gargantuan font of lightning. So it's a font of lightning lingers, but also energy gathers to it. So it didn't just like even it electrified the elemental energy of that place. But why is it still flowing? Why hasn't it crystallized? Why is that abundance of Levin energy not crystallizing? Compared to something like that, these little chasms seem downright decorative. Still, the monsters are a hazard that cannot go unchecked. Would that we had more permanent solution? But I digress. Your job here is done. It's time for your paid for services rendered. Safe travels. I know part of it is because I'm talking so much and also having to read all the lines, which takes up an inordinately large amount of time, by up to like 3x. But man, I was not expecting to get through so relatively few quests. We've been going for 3 hours already. Turns out when you're actually trying to read and comprehend. Or all shards are aligned to an element by default and Ascians just amplify it to catastrophic levels. Sure. That's a possibility. I guess my question with that is then it's not in balance though, right? Because presumably that means that 13th and 1st, if you take those out. So if you take source, 13th and 1st out, that leaves you with 11 shards. And that doesn't just break down easily into 6 or into 12, right? Because you would need 6 and 6 for it to be evenly balanced. Unless the source, I guess, is naturally has a natural affinity towards an element as well. Ah, welcome back. If that were true, the natural affinity, if it was lightning and the others was wind, earth, and ice, that would leave water or fire to be the natural affinity of the source. But even then, that still only makes 11. No. Right, because the 7th... No, because the 7th was astral. So that means there'd be 2 that was astral? That doesn't make sense. Ah, welcome back. Find anything? Oh ho! See this engraving? That's the Alexandrian coat of arms. Just look at the shape. How old is this thing? Must have belonged to someone who lived in the old city generations ago. In any case, an impressive find, especially for your first try. You, my friend, would make an excellent reforger. Here, take this payment for a job well done. Stream dropping frames. Okay, we're gonna take a second. Don't know why it's... Let's... Night, Infinite! Infinite, can you do me a favor? Can you do the wrap-up posts? I think we'll probably call it here, seeing as we're starting to suffer from technical issues. I'm not sure why, though. It's not... Nothing's overheating. There's not... The only thing I can think of is CPU issues, but usually it goes to 0 if it's an issue like that. So I'm gonna head out towards Bayside Bevy. I had to open my mouth about how long we were already going. Okay, should be back. Should be good. Okay, I think that's a good place to wrap up anyways. I was starting to get tired. This is my first day back. So yeah, guys, we're going to be doing a lot more, we're going to be doing more regular streams. I've also been working on videos. I know I've said that. I actually happened though. I have now almost 3 interviews done. I've got lyrical lore going out, lyrical lore almost ready. I've got 2 shorts. So I'm kind of building up a treasure chest of stuff so that when I start putting stuff out, it'll be good. I know I said like, I'm going to be back in November, and then here we are in January, but it is what it is. And I'm just sticking with it. Especially now I'm doing much better. I'm on a new medication that's actually working really, really well. Historically, I haven't had a lot of luck with medications, so it's been nice. That's actually been solving my neurological issues. But yeah, I want to thank you guys all for hanging out. We're going to be doing more stuff like this. We also have a bunch of other things that I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably run a host test thing to ask what people are interested in of these options. But I have reading of Encyclopedia Eorzea's, and a number of other things all planned out for fun streams that we'll be doing over the course of the next few months, because, you know, we got quite a bit of time. We got a couple months until 7.2, and then we've got, you know, who knows, we've got about 6 months, 6.5 months until 7.3. So lots to do. Now's a great time to focus on trying to accomplish all the stuff you want to accomplish. Let me catch up on the chat real quick to make sure. Yeah, to read all the things that we got to do. Yeah, do you like what we do? Consider showing your support and sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/Eorzean Archives. Get your name in the comments above my head, as well as change a color name change over on the Discord. You do have to let me know if you've done it, though. I also need to update the Patreon. Join our YouTube channel for a little price of not much a month. You get custom emojis, special badges, and the warm fuzzy feeling of supporting your favorite archivists. Join our Discord at discord.gg/Eorzean Archives for community events, updates, and lots of lore discussions. If you want to be alerted whenever these streams are going live, they will be alerted. You can be alerted to them there, as well as we have all sorts of stuff going on there. It's a good place if you're looking for a community to play 14 with. Since YouTube, we're contractually obligated to say like, share, and subscribe. Indeed. Thanks. Have a good night, Infinite. Good one. Lorelei, good to see you. Glad to have you. Sorry that yours were going out right at this last bit. Cheers. Yeah, good to see you back, Elio. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Thanks, Althea. Thanks, Ez. Thank you to everyone, and if it is either your first time or you're someone who maybe isn't necessarily a super talker, know that I appreciate you just as much, and definitely feel free to socialize anytime you want. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go, I don't know, I might actually take it a little bit easy. I might give myself a night off even. Crazy. It's maintenance tonight, so don't forget to also make a plan other than 14. Okay, good night, everybody. Cheers.